más acércate, yo te enseño a ti lo que tú no sabes. Si te arrimas más, yo te enseño más. Nos pasamos la noche aprendiendo del amor que sentimos y al amanecer el otro día. Tú me quieres más y yo te quiero más. Te quiero mucho, te quiero mucho, te quiero mucho a ti. Te quiero mucho, te quiero mucho, te quiero mucho, mujer. Nos pasamos la noche aprendiendo del amor que sentimos y al amanecer el otro día. Tú me quieres más y yo te quiero más. Nos pasamos la noche
Wacky Wednesday.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Unfiltered. The real deal. No pre-planning. No chingaderas. Straight up from the bill.
Wacky Wednesday.
B-Town's very own.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Here's your host, Bumper Gomez.
¿Qué hubo, mi gente? Hope everybody's having a fantastic Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, man. And as you guys can see, the studio is filled from top to bottom, left to right. We filled up this. We're not the. That's not the only thing that's filled up. We're all very, very full right now. Shout out to my wife. I shouldn't say this, man, because when I say this, everybody that comes on from here on out, everybody that comes, they're gonna expect a dinner, bro. And everybody that's been on the show that didn't get dinner, they're gonna be like, "Damn, that's fucked up, Bumper. You didn't make it. You didn't let us eat." So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching from Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome to another episode of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. And tonight is an honor for me. It's going to be a special show. We have people who literally have followed their dreams. And you guys hear me talk about this all the time, how Tejano music goes beyond the borders of Texas. I mean, you guys know it. There's bands from all over the United States. And my buddy to my left, your right, Mr. Matt Maya, sound engineer for Elida Reina.
Correct.
What are you?
Lighting
engineer. Correct me real
Get
quick.
upset that
My bad.
I give you that much credit.
But he came to me one day and he's like, "Bump, you know, I would really like to, I love what you're doing with the Onda. I love everything about the show." And he's like, "Bump, let's do a show with my paisanos, man, with my people from my state. You would be surprised how many people are in the Onda Tejana from the state of Michigan." And man, there's a lot of flies in this motherfucker today, bro. Son of a bitch, bro.
I promise you I bathed.
But no, for sure, man. So we were talking, and he's like, I said, "Dude, if you can put it together, we'll do it." He goes, "Give me a date, and I got you." And I gave him a date many months ago. And as promised, man, everybody that he told me was going to be here is here. And not only that, here in a few minutes, I'll bring him on so you guys can say hello to him. We also have another special guest, another fellow Michigander. It just rang a bell today. Like literally, I called this dude like an hour ago. I'm like, Alicia, what are you doing? He's like, what's up? I said, I'm having a show about Michigan, bro, and I gotta have you in the audience at least, or come say hi, whatever. I'm there, and he's here, man. He's here in the audience. So, saludos. Thanks for coming in, man. Guys, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here, man. Thank you.
Man. Well, I'll let everybody introduce. So, hey, I don't know. I know you're a light guy, the sound guy. The mics, they got to be close to you so you can talk. I just throw that out there
right
away.
here. This close enough?
Yeah, it's cool.
My name is Matt Maya. I currently work for Elida. I do lighting and video.
My name's Ben Bam Bam Ramos. Right now, I'm helping out a few different bands. Tomorrow night, I'll be in Corpus with Chente Barrera. Just helped them out last Friday in Austin. Also helped out Stevie D in the same venue. Saturday, I was in Pasadena with Tejano 281, Chris and the Rodriguez and those guys, formerly with Ramadetta. And the list,
The list goes on and on and on.
These guys over here, right? But I'm working on my Christian project, which is Bam Bam Los Tex-Mex Christians. So.
Oh, nice, man. Nice. I like that. I like that.
My name is Miguel Hernandez. I was born and raised in Southwest Detroit. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, musician, arranger, and husband and dad.
Hey, there you go, man. That's what I'm talking about, man.
My name is Gabriel Ramirez. Most people know me, I guess, in the business as Filemon for Filemon Productions. I'm a producer, engineer. I'm a músico as well, mostly drummer, right? But I do bass, sexto, percussions, some keys here and there, backup voices, whatever needs to be done in the studio. I've worked with a whole lot of bands. Not so many Tejanos, but I try to squeeze my way in anywhere I can.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Y luego?
My name's Aaron Holler. You may know me as
Don Verga. That's how we know him, as Don Verga.
Currently the drummer for Jaime de Anda y Los Furiosos. My list is pretty long as well for other bands that I've either been a member of or helped out. So that's currently where I'm at. I also have my own home studio, Art of Holler Music. Quite a few recent productions have my name on it.
Yeah.
Along with Miguel Hernandez. And shout out to Mr. Espinosa out in Florida. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
48 text messages. You better shout me out. Are you home? Where you at? So shout out to my homie and everybody else out there.
Awesome, man. And again, man, I just want to iterate to everybody watching on YouTube. Thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody watching from Tejano Nation. I always forget to say this. If you happen to follow us on Tejano Nation and you're watching the show off of the Tejano Nation page, I don't get those comments. So if you comment on that one and you say, man, Bumper never replies to my comment, it's because I can't see them until after the show. So, but I'm just honored that Tejano Nation lets me cross post to get to get this kind of stuff across to as many people as we can, man. And like I said, tonight to me is something very, very special, just because I love our, we all had dinner together and we sat around and we were talking, and I really wish the camera was rolling.
Yeah. Whoa.
You should have said something, man.
Oh shit, no. But no, man, we did we shared some good food, and we had some great conversation, which is going to lead to a great show. And again, it's just an honor, dude, to have these five guys, well, six with Elicio here, here in San Antonio. I mean, one just flew in from the valley. Like literally, he came in rolling in hot from the valley, bro, to Filemon rolling in hot, just to come to be on the show and let you guys know that, hey, he's proud of being from the great state of Michigan. And I know I have a lot of fans who watch the show from the Midwest, from wisconsin, from Michigan, Ohio, all those Chi-Town. And dude, you know what's weird, man, is that I never in a million years would think Tejano music would be played over there. First of all, right? Like until I met this crazy guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm from Michigan, bro. There's a lot of people from Michigan that are in Tejano music." I'm like, "Chale, homie! Like, there's nobody from Michigan. Who the fuck plays from Michigan?" So as I get to new musicians, well, you know, in the Tejano world, the minute you say drummers, you know that there's a pecking order, you know, and you know, at the top of the pecking order, and knowing, I would never say 1, 2, 3, but in the top 3, in my top 3, this guy right behind me, you know, takes the cake. I mean, the guy's been around for a fucking long time, and he knows what the fuck he's doing. So, Aaron, bro, the first question I want to ask you: are you white, bro, or are you Mexicano?
Half.
Your mom's white. Your dad's what? How is it?
Hence the name Holler.
Nah, but that's still an appropriate question.
Yeah,
I kept taking my mother's lesson.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually entirely so true. He's got
Put that Pontiac education to use over there.
Oh shit!
Already.
Oh,
but
shots
all
fired.
kidding aside, man, to answer the question, yeah, I'm half white, half Mexican. Mexican side is my mom's side.
Half Chinese.
Majority of my musical career was grown up. I grew up in that environment, so it just came natural to me to pick up.
So let me ask you guys, man. Growing up in Michigan, first of all, I mean, I know every one of you. I could have a show with each and every single one of you easily. But an overall question, like, how in the hell does Tejano music end up in Michigan? Anybody? That's for anybody.
I got my theory.
Yeah.
Dale, Bam Bam.
I think, you know, most of our families were immigrants originally from here, this area. You know, my grandfolks were born and raised in this parts, and then my parents would move with them to go whatever, work in the fields in Michigan, or I know a lot of people go to Wisconsin and stuff like that, and so they would take their culture with them basically, and the music stayed. Just like a lot of them end up finding good jobs, like at the Ford, you know, manufacturing plants and stuff like that. That's how my family ended up getting stay over there was. And it's kind of like when the Germans brought the accordion over to Mexico and stuff like that. It ended up staying with it, you know, and evolved the accordion to, you know, the diatonic accordion and stuff like that to the Mexicans, and they took it and made their own polkas and stuff like that.
You know, I've you know, being in the military, man. There's a guy that comes to a great friend of mine. His name is James Betancourt, and he says, "Yeah, I got family from the Valley, but I was born and raised in Michigan." And his mom would come, she'd come visit, and she'd always make homemade flour tortillas, badass flour tortillas. And I'd be like, dude, are you sure your mom's from Michigan, bro? You make these fucking badass tortillas. Like, how is somebody from Michigan making... But that's how naive I was to the fact that, you know, there's raza everywhere. You know what I mean? You grow up here in Texas, we're sheltered. You don't really get the idea of... You know, it wasn't until I met my wife from Florida that I knew there was Chicanos besides in Cali, New Mexico, and Arizona, and Texas. Like, that's the only place that I knew. So shout out to my buddy James Bencourt, and he grew up in Michigan. So that was my first taste of, like, okay, there's Chicanos that, you know, families.
Yeah.
And I was telling you guys about Mr. Ruiz, Dr. Ruiz, that I had on the show about a year and a half ago, and he's very big into Chicano history, and he raised his family in Michigan, and, you know, he's very passionate about the Chicano culture in Michigan and how they got there. It's like you said, right? So most Mexicans got there because they were from the Valley, and they were working the fields, and they end up up there in
very hard
Michigan.
Workers, you know, looking to go make, you know, a living, work hard, and that's what most, I think, of all of our families did. I think I remember Miguel's, Chris's mom and dad. His dad worked at GM, right? His dad worked at GM. I know Holler's family mostly works for Ford and
GM.
GM.
So yeah, just to piggyback off his comment, it's the same thing. My parents were born in Michigan, but my grandparents, great grandparents, and then further down the line, my grandfather's from San Antonio, my grandmother's from Waco. So even before that, obviously, you just keep going down the line. We come from Texas, you know, originally. Right. So you said, they took the culture up there, started in the fields, and they migrated into getting good jobs with General Motors and Ford and Chrysler, and they stayed up there.
Mine's a little different. My story's a little different. So, as for myself, you know, being raised in Detroit, like Detroit, you know, Southwest Detroit, that was nothing but Latin music. So I didn't know anything about the Tejano music. And my dad.
I'm gonna stop because I gotta say this comment is funny as shit. He says, Richie Ledez from Ledez says, if Raza made it to Michigan, they can stay. They made it all the way to Michigan. They can stay.
David to filthy.
Sorry about that, Miguel. I had to. That was funny.
Filthy rich.
What I was saying is that, my dad's from DF, my mom's from Querétaro. So being growing up in that household, there was nothing but Latin music. So my dad was all mariachi and Cucu Sanchez. My mom sang trio music. So there was nothing but Los Dandies, Los Panchos, Los Haces, whatever. Then my sister started singing, and she was all international, which was like, Pimpinela, Rocío Dúrcal, that stuff. So for me, I freaking hated all kinds of Mexican music. I chided to this shit. No, thank you. So I was, a rocker all the way through and through.
Heavy metal.
You still are.
That's what I'm saying. Through and through. Prog rock. And so when my friends were listening to like Metallica and all this stuff, I was listening to like Yngwie and Steve Vai and all this.
Yeah, never heard of them. Never.
They're musicians.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. So you're a heavy metal guy too?
Actually, I started more rock and roll, classic rock, I guess would be the appropriate term for today.
So this dude actually approached me. His name is Beto Salazar, which turned out to be a prodigy musician, man, from Southwest Detroit. And he approached me and said, "Hey, man, we're looking for guitar player. I saw you playing in church." And
He did not say it like that.
He was like,
well,
bro.
see, Beto, I wasn't even going there,
Hey,
bro.
nothing but love, brother.
Hey, Beto already knows.
No, that's an inside joke. He stutters.
He started, but when he sings though, ooh.
Yeah, he can sing, dude.
There's a lot of people like that.
But anyways, man, and to find out they were from Pontiac. So their family was all from Texas. But I never heard of Tejano music. When he told me it's kind of like Mexican music, I was like, nope, I'm good, man. Yeah, but the gig's paying like $125, $150 or whatever. I was like, what? I was like, man, I'm playing with a rock band, not even getting paid, or if I got paid, it was like $20.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm like, for real? He's like, yeah. All right. So
I can't help it, man.
So yeah, man. So I ended up, getting a cassette tape, and it was like Selena, Shelly. It was for his sister's band, which is Patricia in Cariño Musical. And I think our first show, man, we opened up for Gary Hobbs in Saginaw, Michigan, and that's like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Detroit. And man, it was like I'm 13 years old, bro, and there was like 2,000 people like at this venue, and I was just like, you had the time of my life, and it was like, I'm in. Tejano for life.
Forever, dog. Forever. Tejano forever.
Yeah, so shout out to Rudy Peña and all those cats, man, to Patricia and Cariño Musical.
And now you're sitting here in a big Tejano fan studio, answering questions in San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, man. I mean, they were the start of it all, man, because I had no idea, and that these guys live the dream or somebody else's, right? And so, I mean, it was, for them. I mean, they took on this snot-nosed kid and just showed me the ropes. And
so let me ask you guys: growing up in Michigan, man, in the schools, I mean, are y'all the only Chicanos, or there's a shitload of people, there's shitload of Chicanos?
In my neighborhood, there was nothing but Latinos. That's why it was called Mexican Town. It was all Latinos.
Same thing, you, man.
Yeah, I grew up in a smaller town outside of. It's actually closer, probably, to Toledo, Ohio. But yeah, our little neighborhood, we did have a lot of Chicanos. For some reason, they all just flocked to that little neighborhood.
Hey, ese vato tiene el voz for Radio Midnight Love. I'm a fucking DJ, dog. Straight up, dude.
You're listening to Wednesday Wacky Bumper.
So you grew up in a predominantly big Hispanic town?
Yeah, we had our neighbors that we knew in the back were like the Guzmans, and then we knew the Ortizes. We had actually both of our next door neighbors were Chicanos.
I don't want to tell you guys what I think of when I think of Hispanic families up in the Midwest or northern states.
That's
I think
exactly what it is. Where I'm from, exactly what you're thinking. That's what it is.
So you seen the movie Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah.
Right. So Pedro, he's the only Pedro's family is the only Mexicanos in the whole town. Is that how you grew up, Filimon?
Mira, carnal. A ver, préstame el micrófono, por favor.
Claro que sí. Dale.
Este pedo se va a tardar tantito.
No eres de Michigan, tú eres de puro México.
Pues mira, carnal. Look, to be. Let me. I know, right? I live right there.
Bring back the Michigan voice.
Yeah.
Inner Adrian.
I apologize to everyone that doesn't speak English watching, or excuse me, Spanish. Everyone that doesn't speak Spanish that's watching us, man. My day-to-day operations, I speak 90 to 95% Spanish all day long.
Well, you can do it in Spanish,
when
bro.
When he moved down there, he didn't speak Spanish.
And I spoke it
But he didn't speak it as
bien leve, güey.
Well, I think
Bien
that would
leve, ay más o menos.
Be Aaron Holler, yo.
Hey, now he's a cook. He's a cook.
Ahora soy tacuache, güey. Ya que
Tacuache,
chingas le
ya,
hago,
ya.
¿verdad? Me
Dale,
paso todo el
Filemon.
día en la mamalona.
There you go.
No, but what happened to me, man, is I grew up in Adrian, Michigan. It was very, it's very predominantly white and black people, and you get so used to being there that you start losing the culture. And I'm not gonna say that it doesn't exist. Tejano music, I believe, to the day is very, very important and very influential in every Mexicano's life that lives there. But in all reality, it's something that's kind of. I feel like we were very assimilated people to a certain extent.
A la chingada, güey. Cuidado con esas palabras, dude. Assimilated. What
No,
is assimilate?
and I'm including.
Your Michigan's coming out, homeboy.
I'm including myself, right? I mean, I used to study at Michigan State, you know what I mean? And when I went to Michigan State, I learned a lot about Chicano culture, you know what I mean? Because when I grew up, my household was very Mexican. Mi papá es de Matamoros, Tamaulipas. Nosotros crecimos bien mexicanos.
Matamoros is Texas, bro. I don't know if you
Pues
know
hace
that.
Mata Bronzeville, they call it over there in the valley. Saludos a toda la raza de Colonia Obrera.
See?
We were...
You could switch it on and off like that, dude. Perfect English, perfect Spanish. I like
Well, look,
that.
man, I was actually having this conversation with someone the other day. The funny thing about us Americans, we speak English like shit. And then the pochos,
Hey, that's me, homeboy.
that
Shut
speak
up.
Spanish, we speak Spanish like shit too, man. I mean, we don't need not one or the other, right? But going back to the music, bro. I mean, the thing with me was I grew up. My dad was very Mexicano. The music that influenced me a lot was bands like artists like Rigo Tovar. Juan Gabriel, Vicente Fernandez, Ramon Ayala, of course. And I think that what hit me with the Tejano business or the whole Tejano genre was, I think, because what you see right now with, like, for example, you mentioned the K, the K thing, right? There's the K movement that's happening, recently. And there's the whole thing of, like you have bands like Grupo Firme, and, just these other guys that are not in the Tejano industry, but they're the ones that are popping in the moment, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And
for sure.
Tejano, when I was a little boy, it was popping and it was what was happening. And so my brother, being the younger one, he really, really brought it into our family. And so by the time I became a músico, I was doing it because, I wanted to be like my brother or even like these guys, man. Like, I remember I used to see Matt before I even started playing.
So let me ask you guys, you five here, like, did y'all know of one another in Michigan, or you didn't know that y'all were until y'all were got in the onda over here?
Well,
I think that's something we talked about. It's kind of funny that we all kind of somehow crossed paths,
Right, we didn't actually know each other.
I knew Miguel. I met him when I moved down here, but when he started telling me the bands he played with and stuff like that, I was like, "Oh, I remember that band," and I was like, "Oh, that was you, dude. That dude, that with the mullet."
So Batman, how many years did it been that you officially a Tejano, that you moved here to Texas?
I think I am probably the elder statesman here, right? Because I moved down in the end of '93, the beginning of '94.
I think this Elicio, when did you move down?
92.
92.
Well, I guess by the ones that
I got you.
The ones up here.
Yeah. Hey, luego?
I was in 94. No,
Right after.
Yeah, 94.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in 90. That was 1994.
There you go. Filimon?
I'm sorry, what was the
When
question?
you came down from Michigan down here?
I came here, 2000... I came down here in 2007. I've been here. I think it's going on 15 years. In October, I'll be here 15 years.
In there?
Yes, it was funny. Before I answered, it's like they're not necessarily a whole generation older than us, but there's at least
in a
10-year
sense.
gap for in an instance where they were down there before.
So,
I'm actually envious of them coming down here because they came down here when Tejano was at its peak.
Yeah, that's Elicio. You know, Elicio does the Team ATV.
The golden ages, huh?
And
That's awesome.
I've talked to him before, like, hey man, you came down here like you know exactly what you're saying, right? In the mid '90s, you know, you came when Tejano was
actually, that was one of the good things.
at its fucking peak, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So as far as to answer
getting our
your
age
question, as
thrown out
far as
there.
I guess you could say, generation's a poor choice of words, but as far as people in our age group, with us three, I was the first one, which is 2003.
That's
Fresh out of high school.
Yeah, actually, I think
I
you.
graduated in 2003, sir.
So I think who graduated in 2003? You did?
I graduated in 05.
So here's
That was so
the
funny.
point is when I was playing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting, man. I'm
Agarra
sorry.
una, por favor,
Ah, perdón.
Where's that bottle, man?
Somebody called me.
So Matt and Aaron used to be at the bailes that I was playing at.
Yeah.
They were just kids, just chavalones, man, running on the stage. And I was playing. I was like 15, 16 years old.
And you remember that?
And I remember.
I remember.
He didn't remember
I
until we
not
told
so
him about
much
a year
Ben,
later.
but I remember.
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of, but
Yeah.
I do remember those kids. They were those kids.
We were those kids.
Okay.
Can I add to that a bit? So check this out. When I was starting to play, or no, actually, I wasn't even starting to play. I was probably about 10 years old. I remember my brother starts playing with this band called Corporación. Shout out to all the people of Lansing, Michigan. He started playing with Corporación, and I remember that Aaron's tío, Albert, used to play in the band. And Matt, his father, you know, rest in peace, right, used to be the sound engineer. And Matt used to be there all the time. I think he was probably about 14 years old. How old were you around that time? Maybe a little younger?
Oh, yeah, about 13, 14.
So I remember seeing Matt. Now, I'm, you know, about 10 years old, right? And I look at Matt, you know, he walks up all, you know, badass, you know, putting up the mics and connecting everything. You know, he was a roadie, right?
Yeah.
And it was just the coolest thing in the world to me. You know what I mean? It was the coolest thing in the world. And I was just like, man, you know what? I want to be like this guy. You know what I'm saying? So then, yeah, when I became a roadie, then I remember along comes Aaron. I meet, este pedo no vale madre. No, I remember I meet Aaron, you know, a couple of years later. Aaron's probably about 16. I think I'm probably about 12 years old, 13 years old. And I see Aaron and I'm like, holy shit, I really want to play the drums, man.
You don't want to be a roadie
And,
for Aaron, though.
Oh, no. Unos pinches 20
Nobody wants to be a
platillos.
roadie.
I get clowned on for having all these symbols of big kid, right? But it started with my tío. My tío had a monster Neil Peart.
Yeah, actually,
Neil Peart set and everything, and I used to set that mug up for $5.
let me add to that
for
right
$5.
there. Anyone that thinks Aaron has the freaking biggest setup you've ever seen in a Tejano group, you've clearly never seen his tío. I mean, we're talking, he would put timbales, he would put a freaking 8-piece drum set, and then he would,
Two single 18s.
Yeah, 2 single 18s for monitors behind him. He would put, electric drums,
electronic
and
drums
then
too.
about freaking 20-something cymbals, like 6 cowbells, and like everything you could possibly think of, freaking 2 snares.
Right.
It was crazy. So yeah, I look at Aaron's setup and I get scared, but then I think back to those days and I'm just like, holy shit.
I think you know a lot of I'm glancing over at the comments. A lot of people are watching from the Midwest, man, which is actually really cool, man. That people are tuning in from the Midwest. Before I'm sure he's a busy man, so if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna ask Elicio a couple of questions.
Bring him in, please, and thank you.
Yeah. So Elicio, if you can squeeze your skinny booty somewhere over here, or swap.
Oh, yeah, take
Hey, you know what? I need a refill. Si quieres, acomódate aquí, carnal.
Where?
O aquí, mira aquí en centro. Mira, yo voy a pasar.
Real quick, I want to send a shout out to everybody from Toledo, Ohio. The familia Ramos there, my tia. Goldie. Hopefully she's watching. But I just want to say what's up to everybody in Toledo, Ohio. La Familia Ramos from Toledo, Ohio.
Hey, Batman,
Hey, la familia Leal también de Toledo.
All right.
Hey, family.
We're gonna talk about our basketball.
Was English your first language?
Yes, English was my first language. Yeah, being from born and raised over there. Yeah, English was my first language. Pero
Puedes hablar español.
sí,
Perfecto.
sí.
Man, I gotta say, your voice has really changed over the last 20 years, brother.
So, guys, right here in the middle, wearing his TMA TV shirt. If you guys haven't tuned into TMA TV, Tejano Music Awards television, there's a YouTube channel. My buddy out there, Gabe Zavala, putting in the hard work. Him and Alicia put this together, and it comes out once a week. It's an episode. Tejano Music's back on TV, and
We're on 3 channels now, bro.
you're on 3 channels now.
Yeah.
So Alicia, real quick, man, tell us a little bit about where you come from. And
Okay. There's not a lot of time, so let me go through real fast. First, I've known Ben for about 25 years. Y'all don't know this. Him and his brothers had a knockoff La Sombra brand. They had mullet from long ass hair. Don't try to deny it, bro.
Well, I think everybody had a knockoff of the Sombra.
Be untouchable.
I think I remember even seeing hollering some.
Well, I don't know these young
jumpsuits
cats.
and
Hey, these
jumping
guys.
around at one time,
No, I think my sisters were babysitting these guys when we were around.
Hey, I actually saw Sombra live. Shut up.
Yeah, but it was before Sapo, so that don't count. You gotta see them before Sapo.
Yeah, you had to see him during Freddie Records.
Juanita Coca-Cola days, yeah.
Those days.
So where are you originally from?
All right, well, I was born in Chicago, okay, but we moved to Michigan when I was about 5 years old. And Lansing, Michigan, shout out to Lansing at the time, North Side, was really Tejano. I mean, at the time, bro, you could call it San Antonio Jr. or Little San Antonio, because there was so much Tejano music. As these guys talked about earlier in the show, there were generations of Tejanos that had come up from Texas to work in the fields and all across the Midwest. So, and they were making money. At that time in the 70s, the labor force in the United Auto Group was the highest paid unskilled labor force in the country. So you had these Chicanos from
So you didn't need
Texas.
papers to work at?
Bro, they were all American citizens, bro. We're all American citizens.
I'm not saying you guys. I'm saying just like Raza getting there. If they were Raza, were they taking?
They're all Chicanos. They were American citizens.
Okay, got you.
Right?
Gotcha.
So the ones that weren't were working in the fields, right? And the Chicanos that were in the fields were usually, the bosses because they could do the translation.
Right.
But the Chicanos from Texas, they were educated here, so they knew English and they knew Spanish. So when they got to Michigan, they worked in those auto plants. They're making, $25, $30 an hour, whatever it is, in the 70s. They come back to Texas, and they were the rich uncles and the rich tias, and it was a big thing. So get this.
He said we were the rich uncles and the rich.
From Michigan? No, dude, that's true, bro. Look, anybody out there?
Yeah, because
You all know what I'm talking about.
if you worked at the plants, you were
Bro.
able to get into the middle class.
Yes, it was the highest unskilled labor force, skilled labor force in the world.
That's like
at the
working
time.
at USAA.
Very good point.
Bro,
Like that.
it was so the Chicanos that were up there had this discretionary income.
That's good shit. That's good shit.
So the Chicanos that were up there had this money now where they could travel back to Texas, and guess what they would do? They would come down here and they would buy records and tapes and cassettes. I remember when I was in 7th grade, I was at Gardner Middle School, and my friend, shout out to the Saldivars,
Helen's record.
my friend Joey Saldivar is the one who got me into Tejano mostly. I bought him, went to Kmart, because Kmart was still open on Cedar Street. Caught the bus down there to Cata. Bought a 3-pack of TDK 90-minute cassette tapes, and I gave them to him so that when he came to San Antonio, he could just record the radio station and bring it back to me. So get this.
My dad used to do that too.
So he brought me 3 tapes back, and I was, high tech, so I had a dubber, so I dubbed them, and I sold them at school, bro. I sold those cassette tapes. I was
Making money.
pimping Tejano, yeah, man. $1 tape.
He was Napster before Napster.
So anyway, I come from Michigan. I grew up in the Tejano culture. That's what I've done my whole life. I started in high school. I started the Latino club at my high school at Everett. That's still going on, I think. And then as soon as I could, I moved to San Antonio to be part of the movement. Met Selena, danced on stage with her. It was the time of my life. And then I went to KXTN. I went to KXTN and asked to work there. And this is in 1992 when I got there. And of course, I didn't have any skills. They said no, and I said, I'll clean the tapes, I'll clean the records. And at the time, the industry was moving to CDs. So they're like, we just have CDs now. I'll clean those. I don't care. I didn't get the job. I went back about 8 years later, and I had skills. I got the job, and then we had moved on. So, and I was in sales. So I stayed at KXN for 20 years, and now I'm with the TMA TV show.
That's badass, man. So again, I asked him to come on just because I knew he was from Michigan, and you know, I know he would do the same thing for me if you know, it just worked out. So Elicio, man, I wanna thank you for you know, coming on here and hanging out with us for a little bit.
You're welcome.
And you're more than free to stay and drink as much liquor as you want.
Hey, I want to know if your wife got some more of that food, bro. That carne quisada was on point, Jack.
Dale, bro. There's
sure
there's
Hey,
plenty,
man,
bro.
hey,
Shout out to Mrs. Gomez. Yeah.
Bro, hey, I got here late, right? Because, you know, I'm the last choice, right? Hey, call me the last one. That's okay, I love you. That's okay. So anyway, so I got here, I was eating, man. I was hungry, so I got in, I seen these guys. I said, yeah, there's food. Hey, chingao wants it too. And I was just kidding, bro. And I said, oh, your wife gave me a nice hot plate. I was like, wow, this is nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I got to go get married, I think. I need a wife, bro.
Hey, so for the record, before he leaves, Elicio is single, ready to mingle.
Well, hold on. I'm not ready to mingle yet.
He's just single. He's just having fun.
I was wearing my options. Hey, but if you can cook, you already come to the game with a 7, girl. That's all I got to say.
Just hang out with Anthony. He's got you.
I'm just kidding. I'm not looking for nobody.
Ronnie, the house.
All right, hey, brother, appreciate it.
Out that way, though.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity. TMA TV, 3 channels, and on YouTube. So see you later.
Yes, sir,
All right,
man. Thank you,
thanks,
Elicio.
brother.
Appreciate
Yes,
it.
brother.
Hey,
God bless you, brother. Yeah,
hey, you gotta tell me how we used to hoop. And you blocked my shot a few times.
Hey.
He's tall, you can't tell. All right, see y'all later. See you, man, huh?
All right, Elicio.
right.
Be good, brother.
Yes, sir. Thanks for
Yes,
that.
sir. So, I hate chewing gum, dude. I can hear myself chewing gum, and these moscas are bothering the shit out of me, dog. Miguel, let's talk about you, bro. Right now, do you are you working on an album? Are you?
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about that, shall we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, yeah. So I am.
Remember that?
The green song.
What was that movie about Flint? The basketball movie about Flint?
I don't know you're talking about the one that has
Will Ferrell, and he brings the guy up. He's like, "Hey, we got this guy to come up for this competition. His name's George. George, what do you do for a living?" He's like, "Nothing right now."
Anyways, yes, I am working on an album. It's currently being finished up by Aaron Holler.
Yes.
But he's here, so how the hell is he working on it? He's here on the show.
We all want to know.
Even when I work on it on my off time.
Ponte a
I
jalar,
don't have very
cabrón.
much of it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man.
So and yes, and I'm working on finishing up this album, and actually also producing Roel Martinez's album. The Rayito de Luz just came out.
Roel?
Yeah, Martinez.
He'll be on the show next week.
He will be on the show next
See
week.
that? See how this shit works? It just so happens to work like that.
Yeah, so you know, working on different projects with Gary Naranjo, and you know, of course, being on other projects. But yeah, so this CD that's coming out, it's going to be a option 1 and option 2 CD. So one is going to be a radio edit, which is going to be kind of like I guess you could say like a watered down version, you know, regular 3-4 minute songs.
He said option 1, option 2?
And then option 2 is going to be the same album, but they're going to be extended versions of the song. So that being kind of just showcasing the musicians, like, you know, this kind of, I don't mean to make this a long story, but you know, I spoke with Shelly a couple weeks ago with Shelly Lattis, and we were talking about working on a project, and she's like, you know, I told these producers that, you know, I played Tejano music, and I had some musician friends, and they're like, no, honey, that's okay. You know, you guys play Tejano. You know, we'll bring in some real cats. And it's like, and I guess that's the whole reason for this concept, right? Is because I want to showcase the musicians, which they are actually soloing, and these are like 8, 10, 12-minute songs, but showcasing the musicians, because we don't just play don't jank. No, these cats can play.
Bro, but Miguel, I've said this before, you know, Tejano artists are like no other, right? Because Tejano artists,
Agreed.
I can throw YouTube on and say, hey, play this Metallica song, play this R&B song. I guarantee you can set the groove to it, quick as shit, right? If I get a rocker or an R&B to come in and play some Tejano music, they'd be lost in the sauce. That's the way I see it. As like, you know, as a musician, you guys are an all around.
But that's because you're in that the musician clique, right?
Right.
by default, right? Because you
My
like
degree,
it. and-
I don't play no instrument.
Right.
I can
But
strum a
you-
guitar. That's it.
But you know it enough that you know that these guys can play. But there's other people out there that just don't know, and I, I get a lot of flack, for it because it's like, there's those pocket players that they just want to make people dance, which is cool. There's a fan base for that.
It's actually just as awesome in its own way, right?
Right, exactly. There's those pocket players, which is great. But then, there's the progressive guys like myself that want to, showcase the musicianship, that say, hey, we can play this, but these guys can play, like really, really play. So that's what the whole album is showcased to do. Like the Gary Guajardos, like Steve Jordan, those were trendsetters back in the day.
I mean, they were before their time. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? I was like having these conversations with, I think, a band that was way before their time. If they were to be able to play the music they played 15, 20 years ago, now they would be on fire, but they just broke up. And that was the Frijoles Románticos.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Frijoles
They're
Románticos,
great, man.
like music-wise.
Excellent, man.
Fuck, dude. I mean, those dudes were,
And the musicianship.
right? But for the regular Tejano fan, when you first heard it, you're like, "Yo, what the hell is this?"
Right.
But if you think about that now, shit, man, those dudes would be
Yeah.
money right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
So that's the whole concept behind this album. So I'm excited about it. Like I said, there's going to be the option 1, option 2, which is the radio.
I'm sorry,
version.
which one's gonna be the good one? Option 2, right?
Which
you
would
said?
be option 2, which would be
Yo
the
quiero
extended
escuchar
version.
desmadre, güey. Por eso pregunto.
Ándale. Si quieren desmadre,
Is there a third option?
hey, so
What's the third option?
so
puro
Miguel,
desmadre.
about how long does it take? From start to finish, how long does it take for an album to? I mean, I know the guys over here. He's giving you the look over here.
Well, we'll just put it this way: the album was supposed to be out in January.
Under the bus like that with
No,
the
no,
guy
no,
here.
no.
With the
I'm just saying that, we had spoke and said that it was supposed to be out January. However, life happens. I get it. Yeah. No, I get it.
Jonathan Espinosa said there will be an option 3 and it'll have rap in it.
Órale.
Shout out to Jonathan Espinosa, man. Hell yeah.
And also shout out to Carla Cristina. Also, I know I mentioned her, but I told her.
Let's go to the chat
You
real
know,
quick.
I'm gonna have to defend my homeboy on this point just real quick, man. I'm sorry, necesito meter la cuchara. Being in the production business, obviously my homeboy.
That's what I want to know.
I'm defending you, motherfucker.
I'm good. Who's that?
Obviously, if he's taking this long to do it, is because the motherfucker's gonna be on fire, man. And it's
That's
gonna
good,
be
man.
something
I
new.
mean, and that's
It's
why
gonna be
I'm
something
not.
new that we
can't bitch about it because you can't.
we
rush the
haven't
art.
heard before. It's gonna be.
Hey, Aaron, you could be real, right? You'd be like, hey, dude, si te mochas, mochate, and that shit.
Enseña cariño, cabrón.
Hey, if that green is fast, it comes out fast. If that green comes in slow, the album comes out slow. Be real, Aaron. Tell him. Nah,
Let him
just-
have his moment. Let it get out.
No. So, Miguel,
My wife, she's a counselor. You just listen.
for you guys that have never heard of Miguel, he's one of the artists that I brought on. I didn't bring onto the show, but I played his music on Frito Pie Friday, and people they were like, "Dude, who is that?" I'm like, "Miguel." Like, look him up, man. And sure enough, dude, now he's here, and before he leaves, he said he's gonna get on the calendar. We're gonna have him again. He'll be in here, a one-on-one, kind of,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We'll try to work it around Aaron's schedule.
Yeah.
So whenever he tells me that it's gonna come out, then we'll try to get you on the show. Aaron, let me ask you, man. You coming from Michigan, bro, coming down here to Texas, what was your very first, like, I would say big time gig or A-list gig, or do you
Honestly,
remember?
like, I don't want to come across like it's spoiled or chiflado or whatever, but
Please do.
the band in
I love
Michigan was no slouch. We had all the greatest production. We had the greatest PA system, light system. Ask him, they used to set it up.
This is true.
So coming down here, I wasn't starstruck. So it wasn't the sound systems, it wasn't the clubs, it was finally playing the songs with the artists that created it versus just being in a cover band. Yeah. That was the biggest pinch me moment. For example, when I first joined Rodeo, getting to hear the Jaime brothers sing El Vicio, or the first time I sat with Jay and the first time I heard him get to sing, Ven a mí or Son tus miradas, or the first time I sat down with Joe Lopez and he's the one singing whatever, and name any of my song. They all just, once you see the actual artist that create the song, that's the real pinch me moment. So it was never a gig. It was always, actually being in the band with those artists.
So you came here and you were just like, hey, I've been doing this. This is the real dude singing.
Yeah, just basically for me, it was just getting an opportunity, man. Like I came down here.
But that's my question. I guess that's kind of my question. Like, how do you guys get your foot in the door? Like.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. So I came out here.
I'm not chingada. It's not.
It is.
Nobody would know who I am if it wasn't for Joey Sanchez. And I tell anybody to their face to this day, Joey Sanchez is the one that got me the opportunity with Rodeo. It was up to me to make the best of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with that too, man. Because I was talking about you have that moment where it hits you like, holy shit, man, I can't believe I'm here with this person. Right. It happened to me the first time I recorded Duelo, the first album I did for Duelo. It happened to me when I recorded Signo. It happened to me with Fiebre Loca. It happened with me like a lot of groups. And your question, it was mostly because of Jose Roberto Martinez and because of Marco Perez. They were just... For some reason, they thought, this kid is cool, man, and he has a good future, and they decided to throw my name out there. Now, for those of you that don't know who Jose Roberto Martinez is, if y'all have heard the song Hasta la Cima del Cielo by Sólido, he is the songwriter, composer, and producer of the song. He used to work with Freddie Records at the time, and he's worked with countless groups after. He's worked with... Ramón Ayala, Quémeme los Ojos is his. Intocable, A Donde Estabas Tú was his. This is just
go on and on and on.
Yeah, Iman, 1, 2, y 3. And, Marco Perez is actually the songwriter. I actually did not know this, man. He told me this just a few months ago. We were just getting drunk one day. And
not you.
And he was telling me that he had worked with, because he worked with a lot of Tejano groups back in the day, I guess. So like Elida, what is one of Elida's most popular songs, bro? Would you say that you work with her? Duele? Bueno, he is the songwriter of Duele. He is the songwriter of Luna.
Hey man, are you? He is a songwriter of Duele?
Yeah. Marco Perez, Marco Antonio Perez.
I'm gonna Google his ass right now.
He's another one of those guys that I call them verga, aside from Aaron.
Wow. No, and the reason I say that is like, dude, because I see you guys. I'm again speaking as a fan, outsiders coming in. Like, hey, who the fuck are y'all? We don't. You're not from around here. You know what I'm saying? You're not from around here.
It's because of guys like that.
We're the same way because Texas musicians are spoiled.
They had everything in the hand.
Aaron's about to start a damn war right here.
Say it,
I got
please.
my
Say it.
constituents to back me up here.
I'm right here. Let's do this. I am.
If you guys are just tuning in and you're asking yourself, who the hell are these guys? No, the Michiganders that you see on the thing that's not the name. They're not a band, right? They're just
Aaron Holler and the Wednesday Night Boogie Band.
Yeah, the Michiganders is what they call people from Michigan. And I actually had to Google that. I had to Google the Michiganders. So
the Oneaters.
I wanted to say, like, going back to the point that I've heard, like one of these gentlemen make is that first of all, we're talking about the language. Like I think it was you that was saying that we don't speak good enough English for the Americans, we don't speak good enough Spanish for the
estamos bien empinados,
right?
Para los dos.
Well, but it also goes to, because I've heard so much criticism from, I guess, ignorant fans or whatever, just by labeling, I've heard, maybe about Aaron or about Miguel that, well, they're from Michigan. They're not really Tejanos or they're not really Tex-Mex. I've heard that before. And I'm like, really? We just got done saying where our roots are from. We're all from here, Tex-Mex, Texas, Mexico. We're all either from right across the border or we're from here. This is where our families are from.
Bam, bam, but to me, what I find just fascinating, bro, is that our music has, if you're a fan, if you're a person, you're an ignorant person saying that, then shame on you, right? Because Tejano music, yes, the word Tejano is Texas, right? Because it originates from here. But just because it originates from here doesn't mean that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the only place that plays that kind of music. So I love it, dude. I love to see, that the music is as a fan, right? That it's gone beyond the borders. There's a very special person watching. Shout out to Vanessa and all the Mexican festival team that they have from Wacky, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. Mexican Fiesta.
Mexican Fiesta. So I said, man, I always mess it up. I say Mexican American. She goes, Bumper, it's a Mexican. What is it?
Fiesta
Mexican
Mexicana.
Fiesta. Yeah. Fiesta Mexicana. So shout out to everybody tuning in from the Midwest. And yes, Bumper's Wacky Wednesday will be out there this year at the Mexican Fiesta. And it's going to be, like, I already just saw some of the lineup. And, man, I'm going to tell you guys.
I think Miguel Hernandez is going to be. Oh,
Dude,
no.
Yeah.
Not this year. Sorry,
Hey, that stands for. Oh, that's not it.
Pues hijo de la chica.
There's a womp womp. So, no, man.
Comes out in 2029.
And that was the first time, like, when she started talking about it, I'm like, what do you mean? Mexican Fiesta in Wisconsin, dude.
Yeah.
There can't be more than 150, 200 Mexicans in Wisconsin. Dude, I saw the videos of the concerts before from years.
Wait.
Bro.
Otro pinche pedo, carnal.
Dude, that's a whole nother level. So the lineup this year.
We used to have one in Pontiac. Pontiac Mexican Festival every year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where was it? The
and
Phoenix?
Bigger than the Milwaukee one?
No, there wasn't as many stages, but for the region, because, Wisconsin's not right next to Michigan. There's a lake in the way, so that was our.
Hey, dude, so let me ask you guys, man. Like, so here in South Texas, Tejano music can be played. You can go to a barbecue spot right now, and there's African Americans, there's Anglos, right? Oh, you Bumper being all fucking, I'm being politically correct, dog.
He said African Americans. That's hilarious.
So they're all in there and they're eating, and a Tejano song can come on, and nobody's going like, hey, what the fuck? Why are they paying? You know what I'm saying? Everybody goes about their business. Like, is it like that in Michigan? Like, so where I'm going at is like, when you guys are out somewhere and you're playing something with an accordion in it, right? And y'all are jamming some whatever. Do people stop and like?
Well, it was like that for me growing up. Yeah, like when I showed my dad, what the Tejano music was. He had a lot to say about it.
That's not a word.
Exactly.
The way they say that is not the correct way to say it, of course. That's,
actually.
¿Qué dijo la canción? Tu perro me mordió. No, hombre, que está.
Actually, I remember.
Pendejos no saben hablar.
I remember recording with Miguel in his first two albums, and I remember his dad would be there to correct him on the pronunciation and everything of the words.
Like I told you, my dad's from DF, so
that's something that people hate me for too, man. I always say,
So-
estás
so-
diciendo ese pedo mal, güey.
I have artists come in and I ask them like a lot of them write music, and I'm like, okay, and I try to feel them out a little bit, and do they speak more Spanish than English? Or are they more they like me where they speak more English than Spanish? So how can somebody whose first language, bam, right? Mm-hmm. That your first language is English, how can you sit down and write a correct song in Spanish? Well, a lot of guys, what they do is they write what they think is correct, and then they give it to Aaron Holler, who's a perfect Spanish speaker. Said, Aaron, look at it, and I'm just using that as an example, right?
Oh, I am.
And then he goes,
laughing.
He's got Google Translate now.
so
He's got the translator right there at home.
and you always get like, especially and I'm sure your dad says, like, Tejano music, our words are very bland, right? They're very it's the basic Spanish. We don't go deep into songs.
No
and
es
stuff
muy
like that.
profundo.
Yeah.
La letra no es profunda.
If you want to hear something funny, I still can't speak Spanish, and I've been doing this for about 20-some years. Still don't speak Spanish.
Not even a little bit.
All the wrong words I shouldn't be saying.
Okay, so let me ask you: you go to set up somewhere, and some dudes are helping you, and all they do is speak Spanish.
That just happened last week when we went to Mexico.
And so what do you do?
Best way I
Asu?
can.
Amarillo?
Google Translate, please.
For real?
No.
That's why Matt is where he is, and that's why Matt is the badass that he is, bro. Because it don't matter what fucking language they speak, bro. Pueden hablar en pinche francés a la verga, güey. Y este cabrón va a hacer el pinche jale y lo va a hacer bien hecho,
If he
bro.
knows what he's doing,
I love that,
he
man.
knows what he's doing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Don Verga behind me too, bro. Everyone is Don Verga but me. Todos menos yo, güey.
Hold on, we got a break.
Are y'all waiting for somebody
Señora,
in a Camry?
No, just the chef to come back.
I think a friend of mine might have come over. Ask him if his name is Josu. Josué, excuse me.
Este vato.
Oh, yeah, está afuera. Se llama Josué.
I mean, he's in the car. My daughter was just asking if we're waiting for
Ah,
somebody.
okay.
See that? You
Déjale
never
digo
know
ahorita
what's
al
gonna
cabrón.
happen, man. You never know what's gonna happen.
Muchos thank yous.
Block party.
It's a block party tonight for sure. But going to you, Aaron. Aaron, how does it work with you? You know, half your family is from. Anybody need a drink?
Sure.
A mí me valió verga. Yo me fui solo.
Give it to Bam Bam. Give it to Bam Bam, and he'll pass it forward. And
Oh, okay.
Bam Bam, you want something to drink?
I'll take a water, please. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
You're melted. So, Aaron, you know, we asked you right when we started the show. You know, your dad is white. Are you real connected to your dad's side of the family?
Yeah, no, I grew up with both sides of the family equally. It's just for the music side of it, I grew up. Shout out to what was it? Mexican Mutual Society, La Lomita.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that in Pontiac.
La
My
Lomita, bro.
grandparents were the
La
president,
Loma.
vice president. There's a ladies' auxiliary. There was an organization, Mexican organization. Piggyback off that, they were the ones that brought the Pontiac Mexican Festival. I grew up in that environment.
Yeah, played there, yeah.
With my grandparents, every day would throw dances every Saturday.
No,
Friday.
your Mexican grandparents.
My Mexican grandparents.
Okay.
So that's where all that came in. On the white side, well, we did white things.
Because I mean, there's a white guy. There's
Turn butter.
there's a white guy I follow on TikTok, and I love following because he's got he's got like red. He usually has like a red, like a Canelo beard, and he always does like a party. Like he goes to the white side of the family, and everybody's like, hey, and they're sitting down having a formal dinner. And then he walks into the Mexican, hey, pendejo, ¿qué estás haciendo? Like, you know what I mean? It's like
comedy. That's exactly how it is or was.
So is that's how you grew up for real?
Then too, like, I don't mean to get too deep, but
no, we can
on
get
my
deep,
dad's
bro.
side of the family, there's 5 of them, 4 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of their first wives was a Mexican.
Oh, like that, dog.
First wives.
Yeah,
They learned.
exactly.
Damn, that's rough, man. That's rough. Well, I mean, I don't know. I have always wondered what it was like. You know what I'm saying? For somebody like you, and then are they proud of what you do?
Yeah,
in a
no.
sense?
So I mean, honestly, I know all kidding aside, it's a big melting pot. You know what I mean? All the races just combined and they dig each other's style. You know what I mean? Culture. So
when your dad's side of the family came over to parties with your mom's side of the family, how was that?
yeah, no, they were listening to music. My dad used to, believe it or not, used to dance to Tejano music. My uncle, my tío, the same thing.
Oh, because they were married to Mexicanos,
so
right?
They didn't have a choice.
Right.
You had to learn, man.
So guys, and this is for anybody, either one of you. When you guys moved down here from Michigan, like, was music your go-to to feed your families, to feed yourself, or I mean, did you move down here like?
No, that was the reason why I moved down here. Oh, sorry. Todavía saca de onda. I had gotten a call from Stephanie Lynn and High Energy.
Stephanie Lynn and High Energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I used to
she
like
gave
that
me a
band,
call.
man.
That's what
And
you had, right?
yes, thank you so much. So salud everybody watching. Thank you
Carnal.
and thank you for Bumper for having us. I appreciate you.
Shout out to Gilbert Aleman.
Hey, cabrón, ¿qué chingados traes
Yes,
ahí,
sir.
güey? That's a party foul, güey, no mames.
So yeah, so I got a call from Stephanie Lynn, and she asked, she needed a guitar player, and man, I came down, auditioned, and I got the job. And I told my
And
dad,
you weren't married or nothing,
I
were
was
you?
18, man. I was 18. And
Nice.
I was 19. Just got
So,
out.
so your wife's here from Texas then?
No, my wife is from Chicago.
Hey, güey, ¿te viniste solo o no?
Yo vine solo.
¿Te viniste solo? Yo
Me
también,
quedé
güey.
solo.
So,
Pues
so
se amalaron,
and the reason I asked that, man, is because to get up and unplant your roots, bro, because that's what each and every one of you did, whether you look at it like that or not, dude. That's fucking hard. Like people don't leave their comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can look at it like that. No matter what you do, most human beings don't leave their comfort zone, right? If that's what they know, their family's there. For you to just get up and leave everything you know, chasing a dream. Because in reality, that's what every single one of you are doing. You're chasing whatever your dream is, whatever you do in the music business, and you knew that this was the capital. Yeah. You guys ended up down here, or Filimon, close by in the valley.
Well, I think that's exactly what we were all thinking. That they, in my case, it was really hard. I used to play with a band that it was well, it's funny because Mexicanos consider them Tejanos. They call it cumbia tejana, and Tejanos usually consider them norteños, right? But I used to play with this band. They're called Grupo Control. I'm pretty sure you've all heard El Tao Tao at one point or another. And when I came down here, it was to play with a band that they owned. Eventually, their drummer left, so they took me out of that band, and I became the drummer of Control. Went on tour, and I'll tell you what, man, I left everything behind because, I was a jazz studies major at the time at Michigan State. And I knew this was gonna happen.
Nobody cares.
Look, I went there for music, not for football, motherfucker. Okay. Anyways.
hey, Filimon. So before you finished, did you got a degree in music or what?
No, actually, I was about halfway through the degree. I went 2 years straight through. I didn't stop for summers. I didn't stop for any breaks. I just kept going and going and going. And after 2 years, I just kind of felt like I was lost. Partially because of stupid shit and partially because of what I was studying for. I started realizing that, like, dude, what am I going to do with a degree in jazz? I was like, I can teach. And most people that know me would say I'm the wrong motherfucker to be a teacher because I will offend a kid eventually at one point or another.
So how many instruments do you play?
I play a few. I mean, I'm not, and deja tu, I don't feel like I'm great in anything, right? I don't think I've dominated one instrument. I think I just play it.
Bam, bam.
Okay,
You're accordion, right?
Console.
Yeah, keys, accordion.
Keys and accordion. What do you like better?
I think the accordion's a little bit funner to play, but I can express myself a lot better on the keyboard.
What are
Yeah, that's the way I feel.
Miguel, what do you play?
More difficult to play anyways, bro.
Yeah.
I dabble in everything. I try, but
You can play the bajo sexto?
I do play bajo.
Damn, boy.
It's always fun to play, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I play a little of everything, but I guess you could say guitar is my forte, though.
Well, it was like 3 flat, and they're killing me, bro. Matt, you play any instruments besides the lights?
Yourself. In an old life, I used to play the drums.
Well, I've seen you play. I've seen you on sound checks before play.
It was like earlier when we were eating, and I showed you that video.
Oh, you were playing at the Milwaukee the Mexican Fiesta when you were a youngin.
I was definitely a youngin back then.
Deja tu, he was a good drummer, man.
And Aaron, what about you?
So I took a different approach. I figured I had to master one instrument before I moved on to another, so I only played the drums.
I like that.
So you've never like going into the studio, being where you've been. You've never gone. No, you've never gone like said, "Let me fuck around with this," or "Let me fuck around with
The
that."
only one I've ever cared that interests me was the bass, but never got into it.
To me, dude. To me, I love the bass players, bro. Bass players to me are always the coolest cats. And I mean, they're always in the back.
I mean, for the most part, yeah.
They don't give a shit. It's like
They're always they always sing the flattest.
They're the fucking balls of the band, bro.
Yeah,
like,
that's the
yes.
Especially when they wear sunglasses.
No, but
So-
I mean, at the same time, you kind of got to understand Aaron.
here's
He's fucking Don Verga, dude. He don't need to learn nothing else. He's not a fucking flunky like someone like me, you know what I mean, that has to learn
Hey,
like a few
no,
things.
you want to talk about
As
flunky,
far as-
I wasn't even on your two's level.
hold on. Hey, before we go on and before we go on, I just bear with me. I gotta pay a little bit of bills here. One huge event coming to San Antonio. Everybody always hits me up. They're like, "Pump, what's going on this weekend?" Hey, look, I'm giving you 2 weeks notice right here, man. Right here. So, dale, yep. Grupo Asalto, Jordan Rodriguez, Grupo Asalto, Conjunto Romo. It's gonna be my homies, Familia Aguilar. His daughter's having a birthday bash Friday, May 27th here at Far West in San Antonio, man. You're not going to want to miss it. If you've never seen Jordan Rodriguez and Grupo Asalto, they put on a badass show. And then Conjunto Romo too at that. Shit, dude.
Nice.
You're not going to beat it, man. So again, yeah, y'all come out to Samara Aguilar's birthday party at Far West. I'll remind you guys again next week. It's gonna be a great time, man. It's gonna be a good time. So come out and support Tejano music. If you're here in San Antonio, don't say you don't have nowhere to go and dance. I'm telling you right now, Friday, May 27th, that's the place to be. And then also, if you're in Beeville, Texas, or the surrounding area, hit up my boy Felix Flex Castillo. You can hit him up at 361-542-6637. If you're looking for a brand new Ford, a used Ford, these guys will take care of you, man. They'll bring the vehicle to your doorstep if need be. So hit up my boy, man. Felix Flex Castillo, 361-542-6637. Hey, I don't know about you guys, but I know the housing market right now is through the roof right now. If you wanted to sell your house, if you're in the thing, you want to get rid of your house, you want to get out of it, maybe go find something new, hit up my boy Ricky Ray, man. Ricky Ray, 956-424-5724. Not only does he help you either sell your house, find a house, if you got, like a lot of raza does, if you got some fucked up credit, hit up my boy Ricky Ray, dude. He will help you take care of your credit, man. The guy is badass. Again, plays sax for La 45. I just saw him this weekend playing with Los Cumbia Kings. The guy's all over the place. So he's a musician and he's also a realtor. So shout out to my buddy Ricky Ray. And then a big sponsor of the show, Create Original. All you guys sitting here, man, if you guys need t-shirts made, right? These guys give you great deals. If you got, there's another graduations coming up, graduation parties, family reunions. If you got any types of shirts that you need to be made, hit up my buddies at Create Original. They're veteran-owned, female-owned, and they will take care of you. I promise you, they'll give you a better deal than anybody. And their work is just, it's just 100% professional, man. So shout out to, you will. There you go. Create Original. Create Original. I will definitely give you their information. Let's see. Did I hit up everybody? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. I sure did. So,
Hey, Bump, real quick.
yeah, man. Dale.
So since you're talking about paying bills,
Yeah.
what does somebody need to do to be a sponsor of your show? Because I got a friend. Well, me and Aaron actually have a friend that's
my
watching
cousin.
right
We
now.
need a friend.
Okay, cousin, who's watching right now. Yanni Castillo from Arizona.
What up, Yanni?
He has his
Lansing's
own.
worst bass player. Nah, I'm kidding.
He
I love
actually
you,
has
fam.
his own State Farm agency, and he wants to be a sponsor of your show.
Okay, man. Yeah, just tell him to direct message me. Give him my phone number, and we can talk about it, man.
You hear that, Yanni? We got
So
you.
yeah,
Get that $1 million check ready, right?
I've used insurance guys before, and if you have a small business, man, if you're watching, you have a small business, you want to reach out to Raza. Hey, this is the way to do it, and you're supporting small businesses as well. I consider myself a small business. I do this for the love, but hey, man, if I can make a buck, then I'm gonna make a buck. You know what I'm saying? Miguel Hernandez, Vanessa Salinas Sanchez. Wish I could have been there this year. Under the bus right there.
Shots fired.
So, real quick, man, let me reach out to the chat room. A shout out to another artist, Mr. Chris Medina. He says, great conversation, man. Shout out to my buddy Gilbert Aleman Jr.
Gilbert.
Michigander too, right? A Michigander as well. Yeah. Shout out to him. Art Estrada, Jimmy Spaz Peña, Sergio Soto. And again, Jonathan Espinosa. Margaret Alvarez. Puro Michigan right, dude. These are people all from Michigan. Jose Pisana. Veronica and Johnny Marvin Rocha. That's a long name. Dave Arriaga. Let's see. Jesse Sanchez. Elio Ramirez. Valentino Duran. Gilbert Mata. Man, there's a lot of people watching tonight, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And again, if you're tuning in late, you're watching Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. And no, this is not a group. Don't start looking up Michiganders on iTunes, because I don't know what you'll find. But these are definitely the.
Hey, but I think we're onto something right here.
Yeah. Oh shit! You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Hey, and you know, somebody that should have been on this show, and I didn't snap until right now. Somebody else is from Adrian, Michigan, is Adrian Regalado.
Oh yeah,
he's a drummer for Primavera. Primavera.
Also, Jonathan Brown.
And before his Tejano roots is Eddie Gonzalez and Emilio.
Yeah, and Patsy Torres. Come on,
who did all you old guys who didn't play with Patsy Torres?
Old stuff, right? I played with Eddie G too. Don't forget.
Okay.
So did Ben. He's in the video.
So there's a guy that watches and he watches from YouTube, and he has been on here. He has been on here asking these questions. I'm gonna ask the question. But before I do that, I want to send Familia Aguilar Promotions. Arizona's looking for sponsors for Tejano Music Festival in Arizona. That the State Farm guy from Arizona can hit them up. See, there you go. Local right there, man. So hit up the guy that wants to talk to me about being a sponsor. Hit up Familia Aguilar right here. So the question is from a guy on YouTube that calls himself Drum-A-Holics. He wants to know how much is Aaron Holler's drum set that he uses right now? Total cost.
Which one?
The one you're gonna raffle.
Yeah, no, not the raffle.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
That badass one that you were unboxing for like a week and shit. That one.
Artist price, just the drums, was still $6,000.
Artist price.
That's 65% off for those that want to know.
So you 65% off?
Was still $59.94 to be specific.
So then you're looking at probably about $11,000, $12,000.
They didn't come with a roadie to unpack it?
God dang!
It's not called the Rolls Royce of drums because they're made by Rolls Royce.
Hey, Aaron, do you have a bunch of you do have a lot of sponsors for your drum?
Yeah, I have been privileged to endorse a few companies. So specifically Sonar Drums, Aquarian Drumhead, Simpad, and I use Minel, and I'm actually segueing to the production side of it of using those companies as well. So shout out to Black Lion Audio, Universal Audio, Warm Audio, all the audios.
Put up plugs. What kind of guitar do you play?
Ibanez. I'm a Ibanez fanatic.
Ibanez
guitars.
I don't know what that. I think that one's an Ibanez.
Is it really? It looks like it. I thought it was because I could tell by the fretboard, but
we'll see.
But I will say this before. I'm sorry. So I do have a little animosity towards Aaron because now that my son is playing drums, and my son has been playing for over a year now.
Guitar
and
sucks.
So everything that this guy buys, he's like, Dad, I need to get one of them. I was like, oh my God.
How old is he?
It's so expensive. It's 11. He's 11, man.
Hey, dude, just get him the 5-piece. What is it, 5 or 6-piece drums?
Aaron, go ahead.
Churches look at you.
So Greg Enriquez hooked me up with a really beautiful drum set that I bought for my son, and it's
heads from.
And it's a what? It's a 7-piece, right?
Yes.
and it was a 7-piece kit that I got from Greg
he
Enriquez.
likes
So
playing?
love you, Greg. He loves playing. He practices every single day. So I had
He's
asked
got it,
Aaron.
man.
I had asked Aaron to
Dude, but that's
help him out.
for the
And-
fans watching, Miguel, that's got to be so fucking badass, dude, to have Aaron Holler as your freaking homie, and like for your son, and you take the musician piece out, right? Think of like a baseball player, right, or a basketball player, right? You got professionals like your son gets to like. This dude comes over and it's like, "Hey, sit down, mijo. Look,
And
do
dude-
this or do that." You know what I mean? That's crazy.
And let me tell you, it is so cool. And now that I have the opportunity to just shout out to all the drummers, man, that have actually got involved and taken a liking to my son. That Aaron, Greg Enriquez, Joey Sanchez, Mel Sanchez. These guys go and they're like, "Here, man, here's some sticks. Hey, man, help you with this." Hey,
Mel from La 45.
yeah, man. Like him and my son, like, even though there's a little bit of an age gap, but they hit each other up on Instagram. Hey, man, whenever you're in town, man, come and play. So my son actually got on stage and played with Sonny.
Wow.
And, I was playing bass, so my son actually got up on stage and played with Sonny. So so he's getting there, man. He's getting there. So
That's got to be
very,
cool,
very
man.
cool.
But like I said, for the people watching, if they got a son as a drummer, I mean, they could just imagine. First of all, again, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, Aaron, but I am in a sense, right? No, people who are really, you'd be surprised on how many people are fans of musicians, right? They're not fans of the group, or they're not fans of a certain. They're just fans of, like, they see Bam Bam play the accordion. I'm gonna play the accordion just like him. Well, I'm gonna play the keys just like him. You know what I'm saying? So you have people who love Aaron Holler because, hey, the dude's a badass fucking drummer. I want to be just like that or whatever.
Yeah.
And for you to be able to have that connection with him and then your son
it's just a couple
is
of hours,
awesome.
man.
And then all the other drummers that you mentioned, I mean, that's got to be fucking cool. Aaron, how does that make you feel, bro?
No, it's actually it's humbling, man. I mean, I still consider myself the kid from Pontiac. I mean, and I have a soft spot for up and comers because I kid about it now, but it's just the way the story went. When I was a kid, again hanging out at La Lomita, the Mexican Mutual Society, I would see all the bands, and I'd be that kid that was next to you. Hey, can I play a song? Can I play a song? Hey, can I get up there? Hey, or playing air drums all night, like. So they were always like, "Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!" Basically they wouldn't give me the chance. Not them specifically, but the band. So
right, you're a chavalito.
So me having that experience, I have a soft spot for anybody that's wants a chance.
That's cool, man. Because
the
there is people that I've met that they're not very sociable. Like, hey, man, I am who I am, and you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Bam Bam, and so you playing the accordion and the keys, man. Is there somebody you looked up to?
Keys, of course.
Jacob, get that out of here. It's beeping, son. Jacob, get that out of here. It's beeping.
Jacobo entiende.
Yeah.
Of course, growing up listening to Tejano, and I actually got a chance to play with, one of my mentors was Brandon Mirales. Of course, playing with that band for such a long time. I got a chance to jam with him, for many years. Jerry De La Rosa, from Tejano, of course, the Tejano market,
That is awesome. How was that? Was that badass?
Yeah, it was a great chance to learn from him and to swap sounds with him and
Legend,
all that,
bro.
and he recorded a lot of the Mas tunes back in the 90s and stuff like that, so. But of course, like I said, jamming with Brando for a long time, he kind of took me under his wing, even though it was a very hard, tough wing, he was pretty tough on me, but it did help to shape me to be a better musician, but I give a lot of props to him because he's a great player, and
Brando from Joe Lopez.
Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
Brando Mireles.
Yeah,
Eagle
Brando.
Pass.
Eagle Pass, yeah.
Hey, so
I got to work with him too, man. Super
Yeah.
cool cat, man. The guy knows his shit.
when Bam Bam, do you remember the biggest crowd you've ever played for?
Yeah, I remember like playing in Mexico a few times down in the estadios down there and stuff like that, and playing. It was like, but there was a lot of bands, and it'd be like 100,000 people and stuff like that, But I guess more for just us specific, the biggest tours I ever got a chance to be a part of were, of course, the farewell tours, Jimmy, Maz. I got a chance to be a part of that. And, of course, the Freedom Tour, you know, I got a chance to be a part of that, coming back and stuff. And saw some great crowds, you know, I had a great time doing it. And,
That's badass.
Yeah, I felt
man.
blessed to be part of those, you know, too.
Miguel, what's the biggest crowd you've ever played for?
Man, I have to piggyback on that too. You know, Mexico, man, it's, you know, what I thought, you know, being young, I was like, man, I played in front of like 20,000 people. They're like, no, bro, that was like almost 80,000 people that showed up at that place. I was like,
who were you playing? Who were you playing with?
I got in a faint, you know.
Who are you playing with?
At that time, I was playing with Patsy Torres, and it's just, you know, it was just that the whole idea that, man, I mean, you know, they just, to be an artist in Mexico is just huge. So
you know, Patsy Torres used to do the high school tours, right?
I used to do them with her too.
Yeah, we both used to play. That's when we first. Well,
I was with Patsy for
together,
about
Say no to
5
drugs.
years.
Everybody's getting high.
But you weren't doing it with her in 1993, 94. You weren't.
I was at God.
I was there in '95. I started with her in '95 doing the high school.
So I actually replaced Ben,
me, right? Yeah, I think it was me.
and I was playing accordion and keyboards, and then he came back a few years back, and then I just played. I just went to boards, and he played accordion.
I got
and boards.
suspended 3 days because of Patsy Torres.
Oh, really? Okay.
Shit you not, bro. True story. Homeroom teacher said, hey, Patsy Torres is coming. They're going to do a drug thing, whatever. The whole auditorium is going to be full. We have the front row. But she already knows I'm the fucking class clown. So she directly looks at me. She's like, look, don't act stupid. Don't do nothing dumb. Right? Like
That's like saying
just,
do it.
Like, no, right. And I'm thinking to myself,
She's gaslighting you.
what can I do? This is a girl that's going to talk about not doing drugs. What am I going to do? Do drugs? Like, I don't get it. So, of course, Patsy has her band, shows up, and we have a beautiful auditorium there in AC Jones in Beeville. And she comes down, and she plays some Janet Jackson hits that were popping back then. And then all of a sudden she's like, hey, but a lot of people know me for my music, and it's Tejano music. I said, oh, cool. Everybody knows back, like I love Tejano music. Dude, she started playing a cumbia, and so she came down. She was dancing in front of the stage. I looked to my right, I looked to my left, and I'm like, I got to, bro. When am I ever going to get to dance with Patsy Torres? So I go up there, and I start, you know, trying to turn her with cumbia, and my teacher just like, and dude, so the school's going crazy because I'm dancing with her. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when that was done, of course, I go to the office, and
So you were that crazy.
yeah, I got suspended for 3 days. Quick short story of Bumper. But Aaron, what about you, dude? What's the biggest crowd Aaron Holler's ever put a drum set in front of?
I mean, it's basically the same thing that Ben and Miguel said. But so same answer, but piggyback off that, they're actually the best crowd, period. They're singing every song. They sing louder than the artist. Every single
hold
song.
up, bro. We're in Texas, homie.
Yeah, this is going back to you guys are spoiled. Every single. The best story that I have is we played in the General Show Center in Monterrey. We lost power for like 30 minutes. Like somebody wrecked into a transformer and blew the place up. Whatever. So I have it, and I can vouch for it because I went Facebook Live. We were without power for about 30, 45 minutes. The crowd was singing to us. They started singing J songs. So I went Facebook Live to show the crowd.
For 30 minutes.
30 minutes. They were one song after another.
And that's in Monterrey, Nuevo León.
Yeah. Monterrey.
But over there, dude, the violins don't start till like 2 or 3 in the morning, right?
True.
Hey, so when we went just last week at Elida, we didn't go on until 2 in the morning.
That's when you got on the stage.
That's when our set started. And after we finished, Tony Theater Science played after us for another about 2 hours. So he went on like at 4:30. No lie.
Hey, todos los Tejanos falling asleep on the stage.
So remember one time we went to San Luis Potosí?
Oh, yeah.
So
we didn't get to Monterrey.
Hey, Vato, how do you make it over there with no Spanish? Tú también. What do you?
Hey, I just know how to say tacos.
Nod.
Just nod. I just like, okay.
Hell no, man.
Yeah, but so one time, one time when we went with Jay, we literally got on stage like at 4 in the morning.
Yes.
Finished the set, walking out of the bar, the sun was already coming up.
Damn. Hell
The
no.
first time I took my wife to Mexico, we celebrated my dad's birthday, and in that pueblo where my dad grew up at, where he was born at, they have the feria. So they bring in all these bands, bro. And my wife it was our first time in Mexico, and she's like, "Well, I thought there was supposed to be like a concert," and I was like, "Oh, it doesn't start yet." She's like, "It's like 12 o'clock," and I was like, "Oh, I'll be starting pretty soon." You talk about Los Angeles Azules.
Oh, damn. Big time.
Nice.
Noche de Brujas. I mean, like literally, like playing right outside our window, freaking. And we had our babies, man. They were infants, you know. And she was just like, "Oh my God, did they stop?" And I said, "No, babe, this goes on till like 7 in the morning."
Well, I mean,
Hey, cops, can you have them shut down the show? Yeah, just for you, buddy.
Right? My wife was like, "Oh my God, this is insane."
and if you look like, I mean, in history, you know, I mean, Santa Ana lost, you know, Texas because they were asleep. You know, they were out listening to Tigres del Norte till 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, and here's Davy Crockett.
This is actually a proven fact.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, so they were listening to Tigres del Norte till 7 a.m., fell asleep till 3 o'clock p.m.
no, andaban hasta la madre bien madrugados y la chingada, güey, hasta la verga, güey, del pinche pisto y la chingada, güey.
This is a question that's never been asked on Wacky Wednesday, and it comes from the chat room. Right? It says, somebody said, what was everyone's, Emilio Hernandez asked, what was everyone's worst experience with an artist? No names needed, just chisme.
What's chisme without name dropping? Like,
No.
Tag him.
Nah, don't tag him.
Hey, you know what?
I mean, I'm sure everybody's had, you know, some rough experiences with.
Hey, but the funniest one is gonna be, I think, if we direct this question towards Aaron.
I can answer. I'm not scared to answer it.
Please do.
And it's a recent within the last few years. Previous stop. No, in all seriousness. Basically, worst experience for me professionally was being told that I can only work for one artist and one artist only.
Were you under contract with this artist?
No, I was under non-disclosure.
So, but when you say you could only work for one, or you could only work for one artist, did that mean? I mean, it's not like you were you like gigging live gigs, or you were working studio?
I was. Well, it was supposed to be all encompassing, but coming to find out, it just ended up being live. So, signed on to be the live drummer for the artist, and you know, in my free time, and it was specifically asked during negotiations. Hey, I provide for my family in all ways possible.
Right.
So, is there any issue with me backfilling my dates? As long as it doesn't contradict with anything that you got going on, your obligation, I'm, you know, exclusive to you, but I backfill my dates. I'm privileged enough to say busy. And then also with that too, I have my studio going, so I've got production work with, you know, anybody's, as long as their money's green and from the United States, I'm taking it.
I like that.
What about them cards?
So, no.
My nigga.
Hey,
So all kidding aside, you know, there was a conflict of interest there based off that party. So I just said, you know what, it's in my best interest to agree to disagree, and I'm out.
Aaron.
and Aaron, that's after years of being there, right?
No. I think I was there. Technically, I was there a year, but I only did about 12 gigs, 13 gigs.
Yeah, so eso va a tirar.
So
I only did 12 or 13 gigs.
Don't get me wrong. These gigs were lit. They were sold out. They were packed.
Aaron, they're telling you here in the comments, it's not chisme if it's true.
I think I have a pretty crazy one.
Let's hear it, Ben.
You know, my compadre Danny, he'll probably testify to this one. But we were actually doing a big show in Mexico, down in Monterrey, and they were having like so much problems with the monitor system and all that. And I remember, I think it's okay to say, I'm sure he doesn't have to think about it, but Brando, he wasn't able to bring his keyboard stands across or something, you know, so he had all of his 6 keyboards, and the roadies were bringing him tables and stuff to put the big anvil cases. And it looked like I looked over at him on the left of the stage, and it looked like a big fort over there. And then I just remember we started playing a song, and then our guitar player was all out of tune, and they were telling him, no toques, no toques.
Se le olvidó el pinche afinador, ¿verdad?
And I just remember, Joe goes over there, and he's unplugging his amp, and he's pulling the wires out of his amp, and and it was just like they're like, play a polka. So I'm out there playing a polka, and then the people are like seeing our sound man. He's running across the stage like this. And then there's this big cloud of smoke. And then I move up and I'm playing the polka and I'm hearing the sound system. And I didn't even realize our drummer, he was playing reverse out of this. He was playing because he was trying to tell the monitor guy something. So it was like, I've never taken acid in my life before. But that's what I would imagine being on acid would be like. Was like, and I would just come out of the smoke, and I see the people's faces like looking at us like, what's going on? Something's wrong. And then I see Brando. He looked like he's in a fort, like he's going to war. Smoke and everything,
Basically, había un desvergue ahí. Estaba empinado el pedo.
It was a crazy night, but I mean, we all look back at that and we laugh. And
I'm sure there's times where everybody either next to me or behind me, you've gotten your ass reamed. You know what I mean? Somehow, some way. I'm sure Mr. Lights over here has probably gotten an ass chewing from Lalo every now and then.
It started in Michigan.
No, it's true there. Yeah, no, it's true.
Where's that drum machine at, Matt?
Yeah, back in those years, it was also the one every weekend. Nah, but I'll be straight honest, man. I got my ass reamed by Lalo one day, and ever since then,
it never happened again.
And you know what, man? And I told this to him, when we were having a conversation, like, I'm not the greatest at what I do. There's everybody that's out there that does what I do. I praise them. Because to me, I still got a long way to go. But obviously I've been successful at what I've done that's granted me all these years.
Very successful.
So, when me and Lalo had a conversation, I told him thank you. He was like, why? I said, because I needed that reality check. I was like,
everybody.
I was
does
like,
that shit every now and then.
Again, I'm not tooting my own horn, but nobody that I've worked for previously had ever given me that type of reality check.
And we kind of need that kick in the balls sometimes.
In all the years that I've been here, so since 2006, I've been fired once.
Who fired you?
I know that story, and it wasn't even because of performance.
Yeah, no. So
funny how that works.
So when G might actually remember this.
Matt, look at this real quick.
Oh, your brother. So when I first got here, Aaron opened the door for me. As far as getting my foot in, and like he always says,
this is the best light guy of all time.
No. It was the driver.
No, he was his drummer.
No, not even that. So to go back,
Alex, what I mean is, it was me.
That's Jay's brother.
Yeah, that's my brother. Shout out to Punky.
So
hey,
Aaron calls me one day after we moved here, and he was like, "Hey, we need a driver with Jay. This is your chance." All right, so I go, and I already knew, Little Dog, J.R. Gomez, them guys, and I just wanted to do what I did. I said no. Jay was like, "Hey, you want a gig?" Yeah, okay. So I get the gig, and then we start, renting G's PA that he was, running at the time. And we had a little dispute one weekend, doing a rental gig with the PA for, I think it was Emilio. So, I was still, new here, and, I just didn't agree with some of the things that we were doing. Well, about 3 days later, I'm working out of town with my weekday job, and I get a text from Jay-Z, who was at the time Jay's accordion player / road manager. Hey, we're going to go in a different direction. We're going to let you go. And I'm like, did this really just happen? Like, through a text?
If I got fired on his day off.
Yeah. So, and,
I know what that's like.
And it stemmed from,
happens to the best of us.
The argument I had with G, a few days later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the guy that I was rooming with during the week, Little Ruben, was G's right hand man at the time. He was like, "Okay, hang on, wait a minute, I got you." So he gets on the phone, calls somebody. "Hey man, y'all need some help this weekend, or I got a guy that's he's doing lights. He was doing lights first right now, but now he's free. Yeah, man. Telling me to set Grams on Friday at noon. Hangs up.
Graham Central Station.
Yeah. He hangs up with the guy. He's like, I got you a gig Friday. I was like, for who? He said, with David Lee. You start Friday with him. I was like, say what? Come again? So that was the only time I had ever been fired. So fast forward to the conversation me and Lalo had. I took him by surprise when I told him, thank you. Like,
Yeah,
I needed that.
A lot of people wouldn't say that shit.
And again, it's not me being cocky. I wasn't being arrogant with them. I was just being honest. Like, all the years, all the years, I coasted through. No one ever cared.
I hear you. I mean, I don't know. We all, like, when you guys leave and I go upstairs and I lay down, and, my wife lays next to me and she's like, "Hey, your camera was fucked up. You said too many cuss words. So I get yelled at every week. I get reamed every week. But you got to be able to take constructive criticism, man. I mean, no matter how good you are, even if you are fucking Aaron Holler, you still got to be able to.
Don verga.
You still got to be able to take constructive criticism, man. And if you're just watching, these guys right here, as the title says, right? These guys right here, uprooted everything they love and everything they knew to move here to Texas and follow their dreams and whatever it is in the music industry. And I love it, dude. It's badass. It's like it's our version of people, country artists picking up and going to Nashville and trying to make it, or rock and rollers picking up and going to Hollywood trying to make it on the rock scene.
Speaking of that, who did you audition for?
When?
Gilbert said that. Ask Miguel what rock band name did he audition for.
Oh, Limp Bizkit.
Oh,
you did?
Yeah.
A la chinga, man.
Yeah, I auditioned for Limp Bizkit.
Oh man, and how'd that go?
Well, you see.
Well, you're here.
Yeah, it was Limp Bizkit, man, and actually, man, there was a lot of guitar players that went out, and shout out to David Colchado, because he was the one that actually gave me his signed CD from Fred Durst. But the one who got the gig was some young kid, because he came in dressed in a Ninja Turtle outfit, and they gave him the gig.
Is that your story and you're sticking to it? That's
That
why
is my story, and I'm sticking to it. But
Aaron, have you ever played for anything that's not Tejano?
As far as like in the band?
No, just like playing drums. Have you ever played for something?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've done top 40 gigs, country gigs, rock gigs, metal gigs, like whatever pays.
Speed metal?
Speed metal, no. It was more
jet metal.
Yeah.
I'm actually on my CD that I'm releasing on the extended version, the musicians version.
What the hell is jet metal?
Gent metal is like it's DJENT, and it's very like so there's a lot of polyrhythms, so it's not like you're basically like.
It's not 4/4.
It's not 4/4. It's like 5/5. Just different time signatures and
these motherfuckers talking science to me. 4x4.
It's musicians' music.
Hey, Philemon, what do you see yourself doing, dude? A year from right now, where we're at right now.
Mira, en un año, carnal, I imagine myself to be president of the motherfucking United States, bro. Nah.
Oh, so it's not even election time now.
Hopefully you'll remember what you ate for breakfast.
We're this whole idea was based around us coming from Michigan and doing what it is we do, and in that same spirit, I'm gonna answer this question, basically showing that where we're from, it's impossible to do what it is we do right now. And I don't look at it as something like, oh yeah, I've worked up my name and I've fucking, I managed to do this and do that. No. Al contrario, it's actually more humbling the fact that people call me every day to tell me, I want you to work on this production for me, or I want you to do this, I want you to do that. And in all reality, to me, I just look at it as a blessing. I'm not one to believe in luck. I don't believe in luck. Yo creo, I'm going to switch to Spanish, I'm sorry, because it's going to be easier for me. Yo creo bastante en la bendición de Dios. Yeah, hit the sad button, please. A ver, dijo el George López. Yo creo bastante en la bendición de Dios, carnal. Y al chile, lo que a mí me ha pasado en mi vida, lo que ha sucedido en mi vida, es que yo chingándole y yo echándole ganas es lo que me ha dado frutos. And let me try to switch back because now it'll be a little easier. It's been one of those things of like, I guess I could say I'm in the right place at the right time. I can say that I've had luck and that I've, because honestly, I've worked with artists that never in my life did I ever think I would be able to work with. And I've met people that I never thought I'd ever come across. Like, honestly, I've worked with, like, for example, I want to say probably the most famous artist, because this is probably like a world famous artist, is like I've worked with Gloria Trevi, I've worked with Tatiana.
Me too.
And it's been it's kind of a crazy experience, man, because you see them in front of you kind of just don't believe that you're in the studio with them, And I'm gonna tell you something. I was more starstruck when I worked with fucking Brando Mireles, man. The homeboy just mentioned Brando Mireles, and I was more starstruck with Brando Mireles than I was with Gloria Trevi.
Because it was something that you
Damn, dog, Gloria Trevi.
I'm not even joking with you, bro. Like, it was something that was amazing. I was like, holy shit, Brando Mireles. I remember seeing Brando Mireles, man. I don't know if maybe any of y'all heard of this concert or y'all went to it. Lugnut Stadium, man, Lansing, Michigan. I was about 8 years old, man. Grupo Mas performed. I remember seeing Joe Lopez there. I remember seeing Jimmy Gonzalez. Brando Mireles was there. And I remember just seeing it. And I was
8 years old. You were at a concert, Otto?
I was 8 years old, yeah. It was a stadium. It was a stadium. Lugnut Stadium. It was a baseball stadium.
It's different up there, man.
We saw
kids
Jay.
go.
Everybody, the whole family goes. It's a family thing.
Crazy,
And it was one of the most amazing things I had ever seen in my life, man. And to be in a studio of Brando Mireles, I mean, the funny thing was, he asked me, me of all, I was probably the biggest flunky in the whole fucking studio, man. And he asked me, what do you think the song needs? And, I'm going to have to bring this up right now. I just saw that Jesse Reina is connected. Jesse Reina is fucking, I mean, one of the fucking, he's OG, man. This is Don Verga, bro, on the drums, man. I'm going to have to send a shout out to Jesse Reina, bro. I'm a huge fan, and it was a pleasure to have worked with him. I worked with him on this project that we did for Brando Mireles, right? Well, it wasn't for Brando, but it was for someone else Brando was producing. And Jesse Reina, it was funny because Jesse Reina would always just give me like credit, like, dude, you're a fucking badass drummer. And I'm just like, shut up. You are who you are, man.
That's fucking.
Brando's right there, and you got Jesse asking me, what do you think I should do here? What do you think I should do there? And that in itself, like, kind of fucks with you, because you're like, dude, you're the fucking man, and you're asking me.
Right.
So then you got Brando Mireles there producing the project. And he says to me, I kind of feel like you need something still. What do you think, man? Like percussion, something. I'm like, well, get rid of the fucking drum machine, man. And I can throw down some live percussion. So he's like, yeah, let's do that, man. Mas used to do that, man. The acoustic congas and the timbales and this and that. All right, well, let's do it. So I bring in my little brother. He's here behind the cameras, right? Miguel Ramirez, my little brother. I always get him to do the percussions for all the productions that I do. Starts fucking laying it down, and Brando's just blown away. Brando's like, oh yeah, man, this kid plays fucking chromatic, because he was younger. He was probably maybe 20 years old, 21 years old. Brando's like, oh my God, it's fucking con madre, se va con madre. And I tell him, you know what, man, I still think I can make this sound even cooler, man. And I fucking start throwing down some timbales. We start throwing in some shakers and some fucking, vibra slap and just a bunch of little toys.
All kinds
right?
of shit that he had.
Yeah, we just start fucking throwing down, man. Because me and my brother, one thing a lot of people don't know, he's actually my partner in the business, Miguel Angel Ramirez, if you guys want to look for him. Engineer, he's worked with a lot of people. He's worked with Juan Villarreal de los Cachorros. He's worked with Duelo. He's worked with, Invasores, chingos de grupos, right? So, he was just al tiro that day and like every other day, and we just start going on our trip, me and this guy, man, and because we're both percussionists. And it's a great feeling, man, to just know that, like, dude, we worked so hard, not to be, I guess, in some extent to become músicos, but we worked so hard, and I'm pretty sure everyone here can relate. We didn't really work hard, I guess, when we got here to be músicos. We worked hard here to be noticed.
Right, for people to know who you guys are.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand about us, I guess. Or, well, at least in my case, but I'm pretty sure everyone else can relate. I remember with Duelo, a lot of people would ask me, man, like, how the fuck did you get there? Because I managed Duelo Studio. It's called Pro Sound Recording Studio. Responsible for countless hits, man, for Bobby Pulido, Mas. Actually, Mas's old drum set, their original drum sets are there at Pro Sound still to the day, man. Old school Yamaha fucking, what are they? I think they're the Turbo or something like that. Old
still
school,
kicking.
They're still there in the freaking best sounding drum set I've ever played on, man.
That's badass.
And
you even played on a Sonar.
Hey, all I know is I'm about to win. I'm about to win this raffle that Aaron's gonna do. Just FYI.
Aaron, so I'm glad you brought that up, dude. I saw that raffle, bro. Are you? It's already gonna. You wrapping
Yeah, no,
up
it's
here?
done. Yeah, everybody's squared up, and the only reason I haven't done it is because I'm giving away some stands for it. And I'm waiting for those to get shipped from my supplier.
Oh, I got you.
So as soon as I get those that way, because I don't want to be that guy that, hey, here's the winner, Joe Schmo, right?
So Aaron, are you gonna put them on a wheel and spin it, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, online, the digital wheel or whatever.
Dude, I'm gonna throw this at you, right? If you want to be really, because dude, when you do the wheel, the first guy, okay, cool, luck. But give it to the guy that never wins fucking shit. And you know what guy that is? The last son of a bitch standing.
Yeah, I thought about it.
I did that before. I forgot what we gave away, whatever.
I told you I don't believe in luck, man.
We went and we kept spinning and spinning, and I gave it to the first guy. You're out. Next guy out, and whoever was the last person, they're the ones that won the
refill.
Hey, so. Bam Bam's gonna get up and take a piss, but he brought in something pretty cool. I'm eyeing it from over here, so I gotta wait for him to get back from. Huh?
It's just a cooler.
It's just a cooler.
It's just a cooler.
He brought a lunch.
No mames. That's a badass lunch bag, though.
Wouldn't it be like right? That would be fucking better. I would buy one.
Shout out to Horner and Gabinelli. If you guys want to make cool lunch bags, make them look like fucking accordion.
Accordion cases, vato.
Like you see those Marshall amp refrigerators.
Actually, I have a question for all of us. Only reason why, because I gave it a thought the other day. Have you been in Texas longer than you have been in Michigan at this point?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes.
I'm literally 2 years away to where I'd be in Texas longer than I have.
So you'll be at
Michigan.
Tejano.
And you're also 2 years older than me.
You wish.
Wait,
27.
Now that I think about it, I'm 3 years away, man, because I moved here when I was 20, and in about 3.5 years, it'll be 20 years that I've been here.
So yeah, you're over the hill.
So you're old?
No, yo estoy bien empinado, ya.
Miguel, do you have anywhere you're playing here soon, like as yourself?
Actually, no. My gigs start in September.
In September. Okay.
And that's that. God willing, man. I get better over this.
Aaron, if people are there to see Aaron Holler play with Hyman and
this
stuff,
album, bro.
where can they find you at?
Actually, we're gonna be at the Kingsville batch is coming up with Alicia Villarreal.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be a
and
badass fucking.
Michael
thing, dude.
Salgado. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of cats, so that SQ2 will be there.
Hey, bro.
And then we're doing Billy Bob's, and we've got the
Dude, how do
things
y'all
for
do
that.
it in the heat, bro?
No vale güeynes.
We get
Fan.
darker.
That's my number one
No
fan.
kidding, right, bro?
You're fan. Hey, we're making fun of your lunch bag, bro.
Yeah, we are making fun of
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
A ver si va a salir el lonche. A ver si va a salir el lonche. Hey, no.
Are you gonna go to that gig, Bump?
Where? This weekend?
No, the one in Keysville.
In Kingsville? No, bro. The Mamalona won't make it there. Yeah, the Mamalona won't make it all the way to Kingsville. So if you guys are tuning in, I broke my leg or my fibula. People call it ankle. I don't know. This shit's broken, right? And
blew a tire.
and so this last weekend, I actually some of my friends hit me up. They're like, "Hey, come check us out." And I went out to Far West to go check them out. And I took the Mamalona in there. I had the license plate. It says Mamalona. It's in here somewhere. I don't know. Or we threw it in the basket of the Mamalona. But I had it, and people were like, "Yo, this motherfucker has a license plate. This is Mamalona on my knee scooter."
Al chile, güey, está con madre ese pedo. Yo también lo oí ahorita, güey, cállate.
Let's see.
Cállate, shut up, vato.
Guillermo Rodríguez, saludos. El Filamón, El Cuardo, bunch of old ones.
¡Órale!
Chris Castrunk.
Now that
Hey, check this out.
that's
El
a
Chris.
wide-
He's from Southwest Detroit, so it's going back to what Miguel was saying. So in Detroit, again, I'm not from there, but played there a million times.
suburbs of Detroit.
In Detroit,
That's what we
you're either
claim because no one
Mexican
knows where we're from.
or African American. You're not. There's no in between. So piggybacking off Chris Castrunk, whitest guy you'll meet,
Literally.
nothing but the hump.
Straight up.
Straight up.
And
Hey,
he's
yo,
good, dude.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Good
But
at anything in
but
place.
his both of his parents are white.
His name is Chris.
Strunk.
Yeah,
He's white
Chris
as can be.
Castrunk.
Yeah.
Bro,
But he's a Tejano.
He knows all the Tejano music.
Not only that, Norteño, International,
Hey,
salsa,
and he still
merengue.
lives there. He still lives
Yeah, he
in
still
this?
lives in Michigan.
Okay,
He
Yo,
ain't living in a
Chris
field, man.
Castung, dude.
everything this motherfucker plays, he plays it like a fucking pro, bro.
Oh, he's a musician.
Güey,
no, he's
está
a musician.
perro el
Oh,
pinche
okay,
vato,
okay.
güey.
Chris Castung, I
And he
need
sings.
you to direct message me because what I want to do is when I do my next Frito Pie Friday, I would love for you to call in.
Well,
And-
so let me tell you,
What was their project?
I'm
Kane
I'm
something?
actually re-recording one of his songs that he recorded like 15 years ago or whatever that he wrote, and he
White guy
white guy
from Detroit,
played on it.
plays Tejano music, loves Tejano music.
See, married a Mexican woman.
Dude, and we can't even get our people right here from the south side of Ring.
So there you go.
bro.
They're
Son of a
spoiled.
gun,
You
bro.
can't even me to speak Spanish.
Dude, and that too. I mean, I don't mean to go off like on a rant, but even Midwest musicians or the culture and people, the fans, they're more knowledgeable of all Tejano artists, not your Jays, your David Lees, your Emilios, not your household names. They're more familiar with your Fabulosos Cuatros, your Ceratas, your
They know
smaller bands,
all
the-
around,
the
right?
Texas
right.
Latinos of the world. You know what I mean? The ones that me growing up, I'm a fan first. You know, I grew up listening to the music before I got paid to play it, right? So to me, you know, Texas Latino was just as big, if not bigger, than David Legarza and Emilio. To me, they were equal.
Yeah.
So, you know, in conversations now that I'm on the production side with it, hearing how it was about the '90s and the politics behind it, I don't get it because it's either good music or it isn't.
Wow. Hey, so
And their whole thing was, without throwing any names, so this is no, we got paid to push this artist. That was a backing artist. This was just an artist on our roster. They didn't, you know, they were just there. We put our priority in A, B, C, D.
And when we became fans, we became fans.
We
Right.
would read
Like-
covers front to back.
Yes,
Yeah,
bro.
cover
Like
front to
I
back.
knew who engineered, who played on which track, this and that.
Exactly.
And then when I got here to Texas, and one of my first bands. Well, I shouldn't say my first bands, but it was when I got with Patsy. You know, I started talking with those musicians and said, "Hey, man, you heard of this band?" And they're like, "No." I said, "You heard of Intocable?" And they're like, "Yeah, I think there's some band from the Valley." They said, "Hey, man, you ever heard of this band?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "For real?" And they're like, "Yeah, I never heard of that band." Like,
it's crazy, right?
yeah, dude.
It's crazy to know that outside of our realm, like he says, right? What did you say? We're hearing something that's fucking spoiled. We are spoiled, and I think if we want to get our genre back, I hate saying that, to get it back, we want to get our shit jumping and bumping again, because you know what? The 90s were the 90s, the 80s were the 80s. Music moves in waves, and we're gonna do our own wave, right? And I say we because now I consider myself trying to
you're an
you know,
influencer, man. You're in
keeping
the
our
circle.
music, you know what I'm saying, keep the music relevant. It's fucking badass, dude. It's badass that you guys acknowledge all those groups, and for us to if we can all do that, our genre would be popping.
Exactly.
Our genre would be, if you show up to see Filemon and sus huevos rancheros, right? I'm just using that as a, right. He's not here, so you go pay $5 to see him. You never know, dude. You might find something.
But that's the thing,
It's
man.
$5.
Empieza con la gente. Empieza con la gente. And that's kind of like, never mind.
No. We're
So
good.
you're talking about $5. Club International in Detroit. You want to go see somebody when they were popping in the 80s and early 90s. You want to go see Conjunto Primavera. You want to go here see Intocable. They're paying $50 a head.
Yep.
And they still are.
And they still are to this day.
Hey, they paying $100 for Cowboys to go see Duelo, and the lines wrapped around the Cowboys.
What do I say when we're having dinner? You could have Monica Salivar, Emmanuel J. I'll put me in the mix. We have Miguel Hernandez, and for $10 or $5 at the door, but across the street you'll have Joe Lopez and Grupo Mas at $60. Y toda la gente will go to see go see Mas. And that's how it's always been. It's like, and that's why it's like, yes, we respect the classics, we respect the veterans, cool. But man, what happens when they're no longer here?
Well, that's kind of what I push, Miguel. I mean, what you're saying is you're to me you're preaching to the choir, right? But to the people watching, I was saying when I did the interview for Fanfare and I walked through thousands of people there to listen to music, and I was walking through and I would stop and I would be like, hey,
Where you from?
where you from? I'm from so-and-so, Texas, or I'm from over here, Arizona. I'm from New Mexico. And they would show up. I mean, they would want to do the interview, and I'd say, you know what? I love Tejano music. It's my favorite. Really? When you get in the car, what do you listen? That's the first thing I turn on to. So, man, you're a true Tejano fan. That's what you listen to while you're driving and where you go. Yes.
What do you listen to?
Okay. Give me one artist that's new in the last 5 years. I even go back 5 years.
Selena.
No. They had to give me an artist that wasn't already. No,
I'm saying that's the answer that they give you, right?
So, how many people you think could answer that? You can go back and watch Keeping Up with Bumper on my YouTube channel. How many people you think answered that question? That they could give me a new artist from the last 5 years of La Onda Tejana.
Single digits.
None.
Look,
Zero.
man, I hate to.
I was a dude that bought any Tejano CD that day. Oh yeah, man, it's pretty good.
Exactly.
And 9 times out of 10, it wasn't all that good.
Well, you're the guy that asked me about Michael Mitchell.
Entirely so true.
See,
Michelle.
look, Michael, is it Michelle? Is it Michael Michelle?
I
I don't know. He was
Michael Michelle.
Mediocre
I
at
did the
best.
drums. Jonathan produced it, and I mixed and mastered it.
Well, this guy right here, he's like, Bump, what was that song you played? And see, for me, when somebody does that, or I've had people say like, Bump, when you do the Frito Pie Fridays, I write down the people you're talking about. For me, if one person does that, it's worth it. I don't care if there's 1,000 people watching. If one person writes down Miguel's, write it down, I'm going to go check him out. Right?
I bought his first CD not knowing it was him.
Yeah, with the lug shoes and
So-
everything.
Damn!
Damn, with the lugs.
Ben produced my first album.
So like I said, I was that guy.
The international hit, I need it on it.
Whatever.
Whatever was out. I would go to little mom and pop shops, and I remember.
Roy's Record Shop.
Or Helen's and Flint.
Hey, shout out to TDK.
Oh, yeah, no, I
you
know
ever
it's
met
been pissing me
TDK?
off all day, too.
Who?
Have you ever met TDK?
Entiende, cabrón.
TDK.
TDK.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, TDK stands for Tejano Dancing King, dude. He's a huge Tejano fan. He watches the show Shout out to TDK. Let's see.
Perro pa bailar el güey.
This weekend, $30 a ticket plus $250 a table. What the?
That was up in.
That was for Texas Latino and Michael Salgado
In Michigan.
in Michigan.
Well then,
So to my San Antonio peeps or my South Texas peeps watching the show, $30 a ticket plus $250 a table, and the place was packed. I bet you.
I mean, just again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse at this point. It is what it is. But even when you were in the crowd at Fanfare, the majority of people from out of state, yes or no?
For sure.
That's why Fanfare and Fiesta are the biggest times of the year for Tejano support, because you get more support from out-of-staters than you do in-staters.
Yep, it's true.
Because if they know it's coming every single year like clockwork, they set their vacations around it. Because you get more support from other states than you do Texas.
Damn.
And and for years, man, it was always like that argument, right? Like, I used to blame the radio stations. Like it's their fault that they're not playing the new music. They play the same 5-8 artists all the time. But it's sad, man, when you go to clubs, right? And you're waiting to get on stage. So here people are dancing and they play Selena, they play Emilio, they play Mas. Dance floor is packed. But then as soon as they put on something they don't know, and not that it's not good.
It's just they don't know it.
They don't know it.
Right.
So se sientan. So what happens? It's a
The
trickle
DJ
effect.
changes it.
Because the club owner comes.
I want
you need
people
to keep the
there.
people on the dance floor. I need them.
I need them thirsty and I need them buying beer.
There you go. Play Hometown Boys and ahí están otra vez. That's why you got like 6-7 bands that are trying to sound like one band.
well,
And it's just like,
carnal, I really feel like, what you're saying is 100% true, man. But it's because, you gotta recognize one thing too, man. What is familiar, man, people respond to.
Right.
It's like, I'm not gonna name specifics right now, but there's certain movements and there's certain things that are happening over the past couple of years, man, that all cover songs.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't even open that kind of worms with cover songs because
working very well, bro. But why is it working well? And it's working well because of the fact that it's something familiar.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm saying? Like
that's fine. That's fine.
Social media,
right? Yeah. And doing the covers, like there's people who hate covers. There's people who dig them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you still have, like, let's say, for example, in the Valley, and I hate to go against you, brother. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But let's say in the Valley, for example, I remember 99.5 for the longest time, man, was Que Pasa. It was the radio station. That was the Tejano station, and that was mandaba la chingada con todos los Tejanos. And I remember they changed formato. And when they changed format, it was because of the fact that they would argue that, man, the Tejanos would not support the eventos. The ratings were at the lowest they had ever been. And people were getting mad that they were playing bands like Duelo, like Sólido, like Signo. And all I was thinking in my head, because, I work a little more Mexicano, right? All I was thinking in my head was like, okay, well, to me, Duelo, Signo, Sólido, and bands like that are Tejano at its new era, right?
That's another whole argument.
Right?
Yeah, that's a whole other argument.
Saw that whole
but you know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things. It's kind of one of those things.
All
of
the
like,
haters that came out the woodwork.
right now, we're talking about like the whole thing of like what is familiar. What is familiar, man? It always works.
It's true.
The thing is that it only works for a certain amount of time. Had Grupo Mas in their time, or David Ligarza in his time, or anyone when they were in their absolute prime, had they done what was familiar, they would have worked for a little while and they would have been a footnote.
Right.
True. But these guys, man, they just changed the entire industry for themselves. Right. Why? Because David Ligarza steps on stage, and it's David Ligarza, man. And Jay Perez steps on stage, and you're like, holy shit. One of my favorites, and they don't get mentioned very often lately, or at least around the people that I'm around, Desperados, bro. I fucking love them, man. I absolutely love them, man. And I've actually heard some people try to argue, oh, they're kind of norteño. No, they're not.
They're
man.
fucking straight
They're
Tejano.
fucking Tejano. They're using, they're
That's that
fucking
Chatos Corpus
Tejano,
vibe
bro.
to the T.
And I love it, man. They're doing old school trio songs in Tejano, and it's like, it's fucking
And it's
badass.
kind of like, you know, like I've said it before, and I know that it can kind of come off offensive, and I don't mean it to be offensive. But,
Just say it,
but
bro. It's all
what
good.
it is that, like,
I'm not going to offend myself.
no, but what I say is that, you know, like I tell people all the time, man, you give la onda, la raza, a Perry's freaking steak, man, like decked out.
He said a Perry steak.
all the way, man. Like
He really did, too.
done out, right? Or you give them a carne guisada with cheese and a big red. They're gonna go for the carne guisada and big
Exactly,
red.
bro.
Porque es lo que saben.
Now, this is where I feel like
And
one of the biggest...
I mean, but for real, bro, it's because they're comfortable. They know it. They don't.
Exactly.
Man, that's too pretty.
And this
No,
is where
you
I
know
feel one of the biggest problems is too also, bro, is that you got the bigger guys that have already made their name for themselves. And instead of trying to apoyar the guys that are trying to get started,
To try to open up for
they're
them, to
trying
try
to
to do
stay
something.
they're trying to stay
That-
relevant.
that's okay. That's a. I'm gonna cut you off right there, but you know I've had
the
plenty.
the panel right there is green, and I like it.
I've had. I've had plenty of
Isn't that what he said?
A artists,
Blue or whatever.
A artists, B artists, C artists, and you know I always ask the A artist that. You know I always ask the A artist, hey man, what are you doing to help these younger bands? Are you willing to do it? Yeah, man. I'm because you know at the end of the day, that A artist started somewhere.
too.
Somewhere gave
Yeah.
him a chance. You know what I mean? And if we want our genre to grow, we can't be like you always hear, right? We can't be crabs in the bucket. I always hear Tejano genre is you always hear compared to crabs in the bucket, meaning that you know as soon as the crab's gonna make it out, crab reaches out and says, "Nah, not today, homie. You coming back down with us?" You know what I'm saying? But you hear Bumper say this all the time. To me, the genre of Tejano music, norteño light, whatever you want to call it, there's a huge buffet table, and there is room for everybody to fucking eat. There's no reason. There's no reason to stick your elbows out and be like, nah. There's no reason to push anybody off the table.
Right.
You know. So again, I wanted to.
Well, let me add something to what we were talking about
Please
right there.
do.
I think one of the things that is also a big factor in what we're talking about, Tejano being so popular. Also, back in the early '90s, you had a lot of youth involved into the music via means of Selena. You had all the boy bands and stuff like that. La Fiebre, Sombra, right?
Mafia.
If you look at it, anytime a youth is involved into any type of genre of music, and like I think you said it earlier that music does come in waves. Like in the '70s, salsa was big. Salsa, they don't record salsa albums anymore, and I just see it that it's kind of a wave. Like right now, you look at BTS. They can't even. My daughter can't even understand the language, but they're such a big act. It's kind of like what a lot of kids couldn't speak Spanish. Back there in the '90s, but they love Selena, they love La Sombra. So I think it's also that too, is that we aren't passing the music down enough to our youth. I always tell people this. I'm like, the gringos, they have country, and we can, get into rock and country. And our brothers, on the east side, they have rap and hip hop, but we also have something our own that's Mexican Americans, and it's Tejano music. And we have to continue. Like I know he said that his, son's playing drums, and we have to, make sure our youth, our children are, also adamantly listening to it, or that it appeals to them. Do our best to make sure it appeals to them too. Let them not forget their roots, because, like I said, it's just like you said, waves. Music comes in waves. Unfortunately, Tejano's music's wave, was in the '90s, the big wave.
Yeah, but it's not dead, bro.
Yeah, it's not dead. I'm not saying that it can't
muy,
be a
muy
big.
bien dicho lo que estás diciendo, carnal, al chile.
Yeah.
For
So
the veterans.
yeah, exactly, right. So it could be, again, it's just gonna take a lot. Like we were talking earlier, like Holler's he's doing music producing, he's doing the studio. Back then, you had big money into this industry.
Yeah,
Coca-Cola.
Coca.
You had the studios. Now Miguel's his own
music labels.
He's his own label. He's his own producer. He's his own engineer. He's his own manager.
Thank you, Ben.
He's his own. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that these guys are all that we're all taking on. You know, and
It's
it's not,
DIY these days, man. We live in a DIY era.
Exactly. Like with anything, basically, like you have to know a little bit about mechanics. You have to know a little bit. That's why I told my boys all the time, know something, about a little bit about everything.
Jack of all trades and a master of none.
Right.
That's what you got to be. So, hey, you gonna pull it out, or you just brought the bag?
Ahorita entre todos te la vamos a mamar, güey. Oh, he's talking about the accordion. Never mind.
There we go. So, guys, first of all, as Bam Bam pulls it out for the crowd, Sácala, mira, beautiful right there.
Cochino.
I want to personally thank every single one of you, dude. One, for keeping our music and our genre alive and relevant. Two, for just being some humble ass dudes, bro. Like, I mean, I met Aaron a couple of times before, not very long conversations, just say what's up.
His name is Don Verga, just FYI.
Matt, I've known for probably over a year now, and every time we've hung out, he's just a humble cat. And that's kind of what I really want to get across to the people who are watching. Like, a lot of these artists that I bring on, I say this every week and everybody laughs, but it's true, right? Because me as a kid, I think of watching you guys walk up the steps to get on the stage. The minute you touch those steps, that vato tiene chingo de feria. See how they laugh? Right? But to the fan, right? If you guys are all wearing the same color shirt, it just, you automatically think like, oh, these dudes are fucking musicians, bro. They're fucking
That's what
loaded.
I thought when I was up north.
I
fell for that carrot dangling because as a kid, I'm from the Johnny Canales era.
Yeah.
All
me
the bands
too.
I see, they're on TV in Michigan and they're playing Mexican music. Like, these dudes have got to be stars, just like I see, on MTV.
But you don't see that they're making cabinets and shit and working carpentry all week. And you know what? That's I think as a host, I need to start doing that more. Is really getting maybe a little more personal with the person I'm interviewing, because I really want you guys to understand that these dudes they do what they do because they love music, man. You know what I mean?
Well, that's just like you. You do what you do because you
I'm
love
a
it,
fan.
man.
Because
You know what I mean?
I love the music.
I'm a fan first. I've always been.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm sorry. I've been a fan first.
Man, you hold that pretty good.
And I've always been.
Cochina.
Like I said, I was that kid that I bought any CD. You could tell me, hey man, this CD has 1 or 2 good songs on it.
Cochina.
Here's my $20. I go home, listen to him, like, he lied to me.
But that's the thing. We
but
didn't
it
have
didn't matter.
Spotify or anything. You had to buy the record.
Yeah.
It was a different realm. Or hey, you know what? Tell your homeboy to buy it, and you'll go listen to it and record it on a tape. Or
Man, we were gullible. I don't know how many times.
I just saw the meme the other day, right? Like, so nowadays people drive and they're on their phones trying to get their music right. And we tell our kids, that can drive, if you got kids that are old enough, like, hey, don't be on your fucking phones trying to get your phone right. And then you think about it, like, bro, we didn't have phones, but there we were with a big old fucking libro of CDs. No, it's the next page, and they're trying to put it in. That was just as dangerous.
Just to hear one song on it,
Just to hear one fucking song, then you gotta switch it out.
I still have a lot of the old CD covers from all the ones I would buy.
Me too.
I mean, when I first joined David Lee,
I still have a book
Rub it
too.
in, why don't you? I still got the cassettes.
Hey, before we call it a night, my last sponsor, and I left him for last because he's my brother. Again, same dealership, man. If you're in the Beeville, Texas area, South Texas area, you're looking for a new vehicle, man, hit up my brother Henry Gomez, 361-542-0171. That's 361-542-0171. He will make it happen. He'll deliver it to wherever you're at, even if you're out of state. If you look up Aztec Chevrolet on the internet, and you see a vehicle, hit them up, man. They'll take care of you, man. Appreciate it. Let's see.
Each other.
So, Miguel, here we go. Is there a song that you can sing off the cup on accordion with no drums, no
Oh shit,
That
dude.
guitar?
You guys got a sexto
Oh,
here?
hey, there's a,
prop,
yeah,
right?
it's a
That's
fucking
legit.
guitar right there. It's legit.
Do you guys got a sexto
grab it,
here or
'cause
no?
Yeah, I thought y'all were gonna get off without having a little jam. These dudes came all the way from
I don't know how
goddamn
to play that
Michigan.
fucking
Yeah,
thing.
grab the guitar
Here.
because our host is King.
Yeah, hey, no,
I don't know how to play
can't-
that fucking thing, man. Hey, you know how to play guitar, no? Hazte pa' acá, cabrón. Hey, mira este güey.
I don't know.
Epiphone. Is it Epiphone?
Viene valiendo pa' pura madre que sea, güey.
Esteban. I think he's gonna play, right? You gonna play?
A ver, who plays it? You know how to play guitar, right? Ah, este güey sabe. No,
He owns
vamos
one.
a dejarnos de mamadas, ¿no?
Hey, real quick, I want to give some quick shout outs to Albert Ramirez from Grupo Macizos watching.
Nice.
Mike Gonzalez from the Iconics is watching. I think, in my opinion, what could really help is a collaboration with artists that have made it big time. Like Ed Sheeran and Balvin just did. Sheeran singing in Spanish.
Porque no te oigo nada.
Bob,
Who knew?
before we go, I brought you a little gift.
Oh, okay.
Hey, yo,
You got
can
me
I-
a little gift?
Can I take a moment to send some shout outs, man? Because I'm seeing my name a whole lot on this thing, and I just want to say what's up to
As long as
everyone.
it's not 10 minutes of shout outs, bro.
No,
You
no,
can
no. It's going to be like 3 or 4 people.
Dale.
Hey, Guillermo Rodríguez, saludos, carnal, el grupo de Acero. A ver, aquí también Herbie Atkinson from Adrian, Michigan. Brother, I love you, man. Saludos. También para Jenny Alvarez. Hey, haven't spoken with you in years, but I'm so happy that you're doing well. Very happy that you're seeing us here. Saludos. A ver, ¿quién más? Raquel, Yanni, hey. The last time these people saw me, my brother was playing in Yanni's Tejano band, and I was like 8 years old, man.
And they remember
Super
you.
happy to know that y'all remember me, man, and that y'all are watching the show. Hey, saludos a todos ustedes y a toda la familia. A ver, ¿quién más?
Shout out
puso aquí?
to Alec Gomez from Tejano Late Night with Alec Gomez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Mario Ortiz. No trae nada. El vato dice Mario. Oh.
Juan Molina de Toledo, Ohio.
Dale's finest.
Hey,
Hey, how many
Saludos,
how many
carnal.
y'all know David Ponce?
Ponce.
Ours, the greatest hair in Tejano.
That's it. That's my dog right there. Hey, so I took a picture with him this weekend. He was working, and you know, when I don't wear my little hat that I use for my Wacky Wednesday or a baseball cap, I'm surprised how many people. Well, no, I wear a hat or I wear a little fedora, right? And people don't people walk by me like that. They would usually say hi. They'll come back and be like, "Hey, dog, I didn't fucking recognize you without a cap or a fedora,
Hey,
man."
so speaking of caps.
Speaking
of caps.
Hey,
I brought you one.
nice.
This is for you, my brother. It's limited edition. There's only 5 of those made. And because I knew you were a vet.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Thank you.
Oh yeah, shout
Got
out.
my own American
Hey, thank
Elida.
you for
Shout
your
out
service,
to
man.
Elida. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hey, I don't know if I told you
Fuck
earlier,
yeah.
but my dad was a Marine also.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
My tío also.
So you lived a rough life then.
Shout out
Oh,
to
that
Ben's
was
son.
way- that
Ben's
was-
son's in the Navy.
Yeah.
I have a son that's in the Navy.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yes, sir. Out in San Diego.
Sandy, he's living the best life right now, bro. Is he on a ship?
Yeah, he's actually just had a baby too, so big shout out to him.
What
He's
ship is he
listening.
attached to? Do you know?
He told me
The USS Algo.
yeah.
Mo raza parent. Mijo está allá. Where's he at? He's on the USS Algo. Así, nah, USS. Everything is a US. No, man. You know what?
And you're proud of
Shout out to all the veterans who are watching. Shout out
Gilbert's a
to
veteran.
all the parents
Oye, carnal.
out there watching. I'm gonna tell you guys, this is a true story, bro. So you know that.
Ahí tienes XLR.
So you know, people don't realize, but if you were to draw a triangle from Laredo, Texas,
¿Tiene film?
to San Antonio, to Brownsville, if you were to draw a triangle right there, okay, that big South Texas triangle right there, they put in more Marines than any other place in the United States. Right? And I take pride in that because you know what? You think about it, you know, our ancestors were Aztec they were warriors, bro.
That's why I'm so dark.
And And we continue on to say, you know what I mean, to serve our country. And I find a lot of pride in that. So with that being said, again, we got Miguel back here. We got him a guitar. I don't know where it came from, but it's got a purple, what do you call that thing?
Cable?
K-bar. What is it? K-bar, yo. K-bar. Get him
Why did you say KY bar?
And we got the accordion ready to rock and roll. What y'all got in store for us?
We're gonna do one of Miguel's songs, and I think we'll. Is it cool if we do one of my songs?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's called. It's an old Billy Joe Shaver song called "You Just Can't Beat Jesus Christ." He's the one that made us all number 2. But you can beat all kinds of things that you're facing in life right now. But there's one thing you cannot beat. That's Jesus Christ. You can beat not being the best light man in the world. You can beat not being able to work with other bands. You can beat
Being a Spartan fan.
people telling you that your music's too crazy or not that good, but you just can't beat Jesus Christ. And so you want to do your song? Do your song first, or you want to do?
I'm looking for this cable, man. I'm about to plug in his accordion mic.
Let's do your song.
No, you good. It'll pick up. It picks up. Yeah.
That's the engineer in me. You know?
Engineer.
That's the engineer in me.
Wire them up.
La copa que tú andas tomando, yo lo siento que arde en mi pecho. Yo sé bien que tú tienes la voluntad por no haberme jugado de derecho. Yo quisiera que fueras dichosa como yo en mis brazos lo he sido. Nadie sabe lo mucho que pierda hasta haberlo perdido. Todito, Bridge. Cuando sientas lo que yo has sentido y entre copas no encuentras alivio, cada copa caerá de tus manos. Como estoy yo cayendo contigo. Solo Dios que nos mira del cielo puede darnos consuelo en la vida. Cuando sientas lo que yo has sentido y entre copas no encuentras olvido, cada copa caerá de tus manos. Como estoy cayendo contigo, cuando sientas lo que yo he sentido y entre copas no encuentras olvido, cada copa caerá de tus manos. Como estoy yo cayendo contigo.
Damn it, boy.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll in the key of D. Just go ahead. Yeah, give me that. This is the same strum type of. Sure. He was born to be known as everybody's brother. He is the father's son, and Mary is his mother. He's excused my language, a Tex-Mex, Tejano kind of guy. I know ways to get around it, but you just can't beat Jesus Christ. I know you can. Well, I used to crank and drank him till my back was to the floor. I take it to the limit, and I try to get some more. And when it came to gambling, well, Lord, no, I like to roll them dice. No reason to deny it. I owe it all to Jesus Christ. Oh, praise the Lord, accordion. Oh, praise the Lord, guitar. Well, even though I am a sinner, he will always be my friend. He starts in the middle and it does not have an end. And when my soul was held for ransom, oh, he's the one who paid the price. Oh, yes, he did. Jesus did. And no reason to deny it. I have been saved by Jesus Christ. I like that. Praise the Lord, guitar. Oh, just remember, you can beat anything you're facing right now in life. Cancer, sickness, disease. But you just can't beat Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, that's my new single is going to be coming out in next month. Actually, it's called "You Can't Beat Jesus Christ." It's an old Billy Joe Shaver, Johnny Cash song. Yeah, they recorded that.
Dude, I like that, bro. Hey, you got a lot of compliments on your voice. Yeah, man.
Well, you can find that song on Life and Lyric album. That's called Cada Copa.
Cada Copa.
Yeah,
That's
actually, I recorded the original for it, right? But it was in D, I think, when we did it, right?
No.
Was it in C?
No, it was in D.
I was like, okay.
So, guys, if this was your first time ever watching Bumpers Wacky Wednesday from Michigan, or however I came across, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share.
There might be a few of my followers that are first time listeners.
Know that I do this every single Wednesday. I try to bring everybody the best in our cultura and our onda and music, whatever the case may be, and not just Tejano, man. I've done country, I've done rap. You know what I mean? I'll dibble dabble in anything. If you're out there, you're an artist and wants to come on the show, hit me up, dude. Direct message me on Facebook. I respond pretty quick. As my wife says, my phone never leaves my hand. Dude, I honestly, I want to thank every single one of you guys for giving me, a few hours on a Wednesday night. You guys could be doing a lot of other things. You
Bumper,
guys
al Chile, muchas gracias por la invitación, carnal.
Dude, I'm going to continue to do this for you guys. You know what I mean? Aaron, bro, you have a lot of people. You have a big fan base, bro.
Hey, just having Don Verga here,
I want to personally, I want to thank you, bro, for for being on the show, and I think a lot of people, whether you think so or not, a lot of people can relate to your story, man. There's a lot of people out there of mixed race, right? It could be half white, half Mexican, half black, half Mexican. I'm
not the first.
And it's
Jesse,
no.
Turner, Gary Hobbs,
I
Ricky Smith.
I know that, but what I'm saying is that
kidding, huh?
know that. You know what I mean? In your down days, just know that there's always somebody looking up to you. Every single one of you, like always know that somebody's looking up to you, man.
Hey, well, just know it doesn't just happen to the ones that are light skinned, man.
Yeah,
I look like I'm fucking Apache, man, and because I didn't speak so much Spanish, Mexicanos didn't accept me, and it was very hard for me. And believe me, man, ahorita hablo español así norteño de madre, pero al chile, güey, yo batallé un chingo, and it's mostly because I work with mostly Spanish speaking people.
But
you know what? I understand Aaron's struggle mostly because when we come from Michigan, man, we're all outsiders.
Nah, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the show because, you know, I to the fans, you know, there is people that love our culture and they love our music and they just don't happen to be from you know, within the borders of Texas. And this was a great example, you know, all 5 of you guys. This was a great example of showing, you know, Tejano music fans that, hey, music goes beyond our borders. And you guys are all a prime example, you know, and no matter what you do, I mean, Matt, I know you do lights, but hey, you're in the industry, bro. You know what I mean?
Chile.
So, Matt, I want to thank you personally, bro, for putting this together, man. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Miguel, I can't wait to sit down with you, bro. Before you leave tonight, we'll give you a date for sure.
I appreciate that, man.
You know, it goes to either one of you. If you guys want to come back here and you want to come down and sit down and like talk about like you know some deep shit, you know what I mean? I would love to do that with you. Same thing with Bam Bam. And before you go, bro, I want to tell you, your son, thank you for his service. You know what I mean? There's not too many people that, you know, less than 1% of America signs up to serve our country, man. And your son's one of them. So thank you for his service. Philemon, thank you, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your brother. Thank you guys for driving up from the valley, bro. I mean, chinga madre, you know what I mean?
Fue un honor, carnal.
Thank you for providing dinner for us. You know, you didn't have to. It's been a great hang, man. Thank you.
Don't say that too loud.
You do that
La cena y el pisto, güey, tuvo con madre.
Appreciate it, man. Especially for, you know, as little guys trying to get somewhere, you know, get our music heard. So we appreciate that, man, very much. Thank you for the
No worries, man. I'm gonna continue to do that.
Definitely, man.
Matt,
Again, I appreciate everything you do. I've told you that, man, and time again. You know, you're a big part of this industry, just like the rest of us. You know,
yeah, man, you get it. I mean, you're using the social media platform to its best capabilities, and that's to get it to anybody and everybody, and it's archived for anybody to come see it whenever they want to.
Like you said, man, you do it on your dime, your time. So, yes.
I definitely know that feeling for sure, man. I mean, with the whole YouTube thing too. So
I hear you, man. I hear you. So again, man, guys, don't go again. If I'm gonna say the last time, don't go look up Michiganders because you're not gonna find this band.
Not yet.
They're not a band called.
It's in the works already.
The what do you call it? The Michiganders. But again, if this is your first time watching,
it's like the Avengers.
Every single Wednesday, Facebook Live on Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. Follow my YouTube channel, Keeping Up with Bumper and Bumper Gomez. If you look up Bumper Gomez on YouTube, you will find every episode of Wacky Wednesday. I mean, you name an artist, put in there. Hopefully they'll show up. And if they don't, send me a message. Bump. I typed in this artist and you haven't interviewed him. I'll go look for him and we'll get him in here.
Hey, so part 2 of this interview we'll do Michiganders Monday.
This Monday?
No, just down the line.
Oh, Michigander Monday show.
Hey, I'm only 3.5 hours away, man.
I got you.
Hey, again, Bump, thanks to you, you know, for everything you do, to Weecha for the amazing food.
No worries.
Boy, I'm going to start coming over a lot more now.
There you go, man. That carne asada was up.
Hey, Bumper, I'm about to hit you up, man. Next time when I come over here. I don't make my way out to San Antonio very often, but when I do,
well, hopefully I'll be able
we're
to.
We're going to get fucking stupid.
Yeah, we'll be able to.
Bumper does that already by himself.
No, we're not going to drink. We're going to get fucking stupid.
Hey, Philemon, to your brother, man, gracias, dude, for driving, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, this was my driver. We need to give a shout out to Migs. Hey, también necesito aprovechar el pinche momento, toda la raza que nos está escuchando. If you have TikTok, you have Instagram, look for El Cuadro Live. That's my group. Gracias a Dios, numbers have been rising. We hope to rise more. Please and please check it out.
And before I go, Bam Bam, you got anything coming up? You got any shows coming up or any? I mean, you got your new song.
Yeah, like I said, that song, "You Just Can't Be Jesus Christ," will be out next month. Tex-Mex Christians. I'll be in Corpus tomorrow with backing up Chente tomorrow, and then
there you go. You can see him tomorrow. Bam Bam tomorrow in Corpus.
Mike Gonzalez,
Whiskey Rio?
Yeah, Whiskey Rio.
Oh, Mike G and the Iconics will be there too.
Yeah, I think they're there tomorrow too. Also,
Miguel, where are you going to be at? Not till September, right?
Not this September, but you can catch me right now playing bass with Sonny Salceda. My album drops very, very soon, and look for both versions, and it'll be Lucky Number 7, the full album. You can check me out on all social media platforms and check out my music on
I'm gonna look
Spotify
for
and all that
version
stuff.
2.
Right
Aaron,
on,
I'm
man.
looking for version 2.
We're calling it a night. Where you gonna be? Where can we see you here soon?
Actually, I'm off, so I'm finally gonna finish Miguel's record.
Yeah, daddy.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
And famous,
can't beat Jesus Christ.
and the famous words of Mario. Yeah, daddy.
Yeah, daddy. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Look forward to the weekend. Make sure you're out there supporting Tejano music, however, wherever you can. Pay the money. That's how these guys eat. Until next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, who's my guest?
Roel Martinez.
There you go.
Roel
Roel Martinez will be my
That's
guest
right.
next week right here in the
You've done
studio,
some
man.
work for him. Have I done
So-
some work for him, Aaron?
Yeah, me too.
Guys, thank you guys so much. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bumpers Wacky Wednesday.